postseason. Now here are the standings with about 50 games to go. The Yankees lost here in 10 innings last night, so their lead is down to 1 over the Tampa Bay Rays, who lost today. The Texas Victory improved their lead in the West to 8.5 games, by far the biggest of any first-place team. Hi, everybody, and welcome to steamy Arlington, Texas. Great to have you with us. I'm Dave O'Brien, alongside my partner, former National League Cy Young Award winner Rick Sutcliffe. And last night, without Mark Teixeira, the Yankees fell. He is home, and in fact will not appear in this series. He's home with his wife and his newborn son, so he's out of the mix. But A-Rod is in, and they probably have a little more pressure on him to do what he did last night, which is hit number 601.
Well, the difference is, though, when he hits those home runs these days. Last night when he hit that home run, it was in the top of the 8th inning. They were down by 1 run. Reminiscent of what he did last year in the postseason, when time after time he came up big for the New York Yankees. Well, it was back on August the 4th this year when he came up big for himself. Career homer number 600, and he did it in style. Dead center field at Yankee Stadium. In fact, that ball landed in the area where Yankee legends are remembered. Alex Rodriguez is obviously wanting to be one of those guys. If he continues to come up big like that, he will be.
Now, the Texas Rangers are no longer a home run derby team. They can flat pitch. Tonight they give the ball to Cliff Lee. He has gone 10 consecutive starts of at least 8 innings. He's had a remarkable run. Right now, is he the best pitcher in baseball?
I would have to say right now he is. I mean, he was on the disabled list to begin the year. He got off to a slow start. But right now, there's no one better, and no one that the Texas Rangers would rather have on the mound against the New York Yankees. He has had such a huge impact on this organization already. There's 3 areas that he has been dominating in. The starters, the starting rotation, the way he prepares, the bullpen, they're fully rested. And how about the fan base? It is sold out tonight. There's not an empty seat in the house. The expectations for the Rangers are sky high.
A great buzz in the stands tonight. Now, this Texas team still loves to mash the ball, and 1 through 6 in their lineup, they may be the equal of any team in baseball, including these New York Yankees. Of course, they are anchored by Josh Hamilton, who is having an MVP kind of a season.
Yeah, he might be the MVP in the American League right now. I'll tell you something else. A lot of people think right now he's the closest thing anyone has ever seen to Mickey Mantle. He has all 5 tools. We know about that. But they're clicking all right now at the same time. He might possibly hit a home run into the upper deck tonight. He might just simply hit a ground ball to shortstop that he beats out because of his speed. It might be because of his defense. But when you look at those numbers, obviously another career year for Josh Hamilton, and possibly that MVP award going home with him.
There is not a hitter in the big leagues who is better when ahead in the count. But when we return from the break, Sut will put Josh Hamilton behind the microphone to talk about how he felt when the Rangers got Cliff Lee. That's coming up next on Wednesday Night Baseball.
ABC Tuesday, September 28th. One family will go from ordinary to extraordinary.
Something impossible is happening to us.
ABC's No Ordinary Family. Series premiere Tuesday, September 28th. And for a sneak peek, visit abc.com.
The reality of fantasy. If you haven't outbid, you haven't lived. Free live auction drafts from ESPN Fantasy Football. Outbid for the players you want, drive up the price of the players you don't. Sign up for free at ESPN.com.
In baseball, miracles can happen when a team works together.
2 out, bottom of the 9th, down to their last strike.
The same is true in the fight against cancer. That's why MLB has teamed up with Stand Up to Cancer. Because we believe that when we all stand up together,
41,000 on their feet.
we can make cancer history.
Now everybody's standing.
What a buzz in this building.
This is beyond a dream. Stand up with MLB at standuptocancer.org.
What's up, man? Keys. Keys. Stacy. Keys, girl. Billy.
Hi, boy.
Sarah. Hermes. What's up, little buddy? Wingtip sandals. Let's go. Nobody flying tonight. Hold it there, big guy. Yeah, the warp drive. Hand it over.
Your culture is primitive, yet so funky.
There are captains in every crew. Calling all captains. Drink responsibly.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is presented by Captain Morgan. There are captains in every crew. Calling all captains. Drink responsibly.
You want to know what it feels like here in Arlington? It's like walking into a dryer. Yankees and the Rangers. Rangers ballpark in Arlington, Texas, sold out as we welcome back to Wednesday Night Baseball. Earlier today, Rick sat down with the Rangers slugger Josh Hamilton and talked about the mood in the Texas clubhouse and the impact of the Cliff Lee trade.
What the Rangers have done up to this point right now, it's got to be a lot of fun in that clubhouse with your teammates.
It's exciting. You know, we have made changes over the past 2 or 3 years I've been here, and all for the better. And right now we're having fun. You know, we got a good mix of older guys, younger guys, and the younger guys are growing up quick. And so it's fun. It's exciting.
You know, everybody was talking about the financial situation with the team, whether it was going to be sold, who was going to own it. And then all of a sudden we find out that Cliff Lee is traded to the Texas Rangers. When you heard that, what'd you think?
I fell out of my chair, and I looked around the clubhouse and so did everybody else. But it was amazing because as players, you want to have a front office that wants to win. And for them to do that, it showed us that they were serious about making a step towards the playoffs.
More to come with the man who may be the most valuable player in the American League in 2010. Hamilton hitting third in the Texas Rangers lineup with 24 homers, hitting .354. Now look at the Yankee lineup. It's brought to you by Pizza Hut. It's Derek Jeter at the very top, hitting .276. Then Nick Swisher with 22 home runs.
Yeah, and 2 of those came earlier this year when Cliff Lee was on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. He homered from the right side of the plate. Both of the career homers came in that ballgame.
Yankees facing the left-hander Cliff Lee. Terry Francona recently said of Lee, if you were to draw up a blueprint of the ideal major league pitcher, it would be Cliff Lee.
Well, a lot of that has to do with his preparation. The Ranger teammates were talking about him when they got back off that long West Coast road trip. On the off day on Monday, everybody else went home to relax. He came to the ballpark because he has a routine that he's got to stick to so that he can be dominant, as he has been for the last several years.
A packed house here at the ballpark in Arlington, and that is a rarity. This is just the 4th time they have sold out this season. We'll see if Jeter goes after the very first pitch. Opposing batters, by the way, hitting .329 against Lee in the first inning. He'll take it, and it's wide for ball 1. Paul Emmel is tonight's home plate umpire. Although, frankly, with as many strikes as Lee throws, and as often he's in the zone, 72% of the time, he's probably umpire proof. Line into right. Here comes Cruz diving ahead. He can't catch it. It rolls away from him, and Jeter is on with a base hit.
I don't
think
think
go after that second one.
Any reason to take a strike off of Cliff Lee. The first thing that you see that you're able to put the barrel of the bat on, I think you've got to attack that pitch. He's not going to walk you. He's only going to walk one guy every 9 innings. And up to this point, since the beginning of this year, he's striking out 14 guys every 9 innings. So you've got to take the approach there that Derek Jeter did.
A .387 career average against Cliff Lee for Derek Jeter, and here comes Swisher at .296. And he's another guy who sees Lee pretty well. .364 lifetime with 2 homers. And it takes a strike.
You got to feel like a lot of those numbers happened 3 or 4 years ago, before Cliff Lee went 22-3 in 08, winning the Cy Young Award, and before he dominated last year in the postseason for the Phillies.
Way out in front on that one. Marcus Thames on deck. Yankees have dropped 2 in a row. They haven't had a losing streak of longer than 3 games all season. But they have dropped 6 out of their last 9.
Well, when you run into John Lester, C.J. Wilson last night, and Cliff Lee, those things can happen.
That just missed, said Emmel. A spectacular control from Cliff Lee, who has the lowest ERA in the American League at .244.
9 base on balls
in 155 innings.
That's high school like, and he's doing it in the American League.
At this pace, his strikeout to walk ratio will be the best in baseball since 1900. 82% of 2-strike counts converted into outs. That's tops in the majors. Well, he leads in so many categories like that. He throws more first pitch strikes than anybody in the game. Out front again, Swisher goes down with a big cut and a miss. He strikes out.
People talk about the outside corner and the inside corner. Sometimes you forget about, if you look at the K zone here, you forget about the knees and you forget about the letters, where you can also go up top to get that strike. That was by design there. He has such good command, not only in and out, but up and down.
K zone brought to you by Denny's, and here's Timms at 308, 3 homers, 14 RBIs. And as you mentioned, that string of left-handers that the Yankees are facing, 4 consecutive lefties. They're scheduled to get Bruce Chen when they go to Kansas City tomorrow.
Chen's having an outstanding year for the struggling Kansas City Royals.
Up and in. On deck, Alex Rodriguez, the former Texas Ranger. Rangers are still paying him at least a portion of his salary.
Are the Mariners still paying? They finally get that over with.
I'm not sure about that, but I know that it's part of the bankruptcy auction that Nolan Ryan's group just won to take control of the team. Slap foul back out of play by Timms.
So much fun with Cliff Lee on the mound, not only to take a look at the K zone and his command, but to look at the different velocities that come up on that radar gun. He can touch 92, 93 miles an hour with the fastball. He can change speeds with the fastball. The changeup 78 to 82 miles an hour. And oh yeah, he can spin it.
Derek Jeter not running nearly as frequently as he did a year ago. Turned 36 in June.
Well, you know, I mean, along with that, I mean, he hit 334 last year. Coming into play at 276, he's not had that many opportunities.
In there, got him looking, and backing out of there, Timms. He knew it as Lee strikes out his second consecutive man.
Well, and the second consecutive guy that has taken strike one. You fall behind this guy, he's going to just flat out dissect you. Take a look at there. There's the rotation, the ability to spin it. Comes back and catches the outside corner with that big curveball. A nice job framing it, holding it right there by Benji Molina.
We talked about this. You better get to him early. After the first inning, the batting average against him goes down to 210. Jeter led off the game with a base hit. A-Rod takes a strike. 264, just 18 home runs for Alex. Although he has driven in 89 runs. It was a long chorus of boos when he stepped in to hit. He's still driving in runs, number 2 in the majors in that category.
31 RBIs during the month of July.
But what best explains the home run drop-off? Hit just 30 last season, although he did miss 5 weeks because of the hip issue.
35 the year before that, 54 the year before that. And as they talk about, one of my favorite things, on pace for 26 or 27 this year. So that number has not been going up, which makes you wonder.
They did hit the tying home run last night to dead center. That's a strike. 1-2.
I don't know which arm's going to be sore tonight. The left arm of Cliff Lee or the right arm of Paul Immel, the home plate umpire, calling all these strikes.
Lee 1 strike away from striking out the side here in the first inning. And Alex calls for a timeout here, granted by Paul Immel.
Cliff doing a nice job here regrouping. Took a little while to get the sign he wanted from Molina. And then when he did, he checked Jeter and he started to come to home. You take a look at him now. He's backing off. He's recommitting. You know what? He's probably changing the pitch, knowing that Alex turned around and took a look at where Molina was.
Sharply but foul off to the right. Robinson Cano would hit next.
I'll bet you anything that Cliff changed the location on that pitch. Molina was sitting away, but when Alex called timeout, he had to turn around and look at the umpire. What does he do? He brings the ball in there, and Alex was nowhere near prepared to make contact there.
Two down, and the 1-2 towards short. Andrus gets the out at second base, and the side is retired. So Jeter started off with a base hit. Nothing came of that. When we come back, it'll be Andrus Young and Josh Hamilton, the MVP candidate here in Texas.
The guys who drive a heavy-duty truck have some heavy-duty demands, like enough horsepower and torque to get out of just about any situation. A payload that beats the other guys flat out. A frame sturdy enough to bear up a max towing capacity that's over 10 tons. And a braking system tough enough to bring it all to a stop. Heavy-duty demands. Gentlemen, your truck is ready.
Waking up with morning pain can drain the energy right out of you. Fight it with new Bayer AM. It combines extra strength Bayer aspirin to treat pain, plus an alertness aid to help you get off to a running start. Try Bayer AM, the morning pain reliever.
McDonald's new line of Angus snack wraps. Although more maneuverable than its burger predecessor, its payload is still substantial. Angus beef bundled with fresh tomato and crinkle-cut pickles in a sleek snack-sized wrap. So, it is imperative to keep the nose of the snack wrap elevated to ensure... Pull up! Pull up! To ensure the contents do not shift in transit. Angus Axiom number 81. Please remain seated for the duration of the feast. McDonald's new Angus snack wraps. The simple joy of Angus.
The Comedy Central roast of David Hasselhoff, Sunday at 10.
Texas has a young shortstop at the top of the order there, Elvis Andrus. He's a speed guy. He can run. If he gets on, he'll be trying to steal as we take a look at the starting lineup of the Texas Rangers. Brought to you by Pizza Hut. Michael Young out of the 2 spot. Hamilton in center field, the number 3 hitter. Then Vladimir Guerrero, Nelson Cruz, and David Murphy, who was the big star last night.
Well, he had a great road trip. He got a shot in the knee. He was physically banged up a little bit. He was a shot in the arm to the Texas Rangers offensively on that trip. And then, as you mentioned, I mean, there's game-winning hits, which he got last night. But then there's also game-winning hits against Mariano Rivera. It doesn't get any better than that.
See what he does against the right-hander Javier Vazquez, who struggled to hit the upper 80s in his last outing against the Red Sox. The Yankees said later he's going through a dead arm phase. Does that make sense?
It totally does. I mean, every pitcher at one time or another will go through that. The whole key for him tonight is the ability to change speeds in the strike zone. If he's not touching 90 miles an hour, that off-speed pitch is the only way to get through this lineup.
Andrus, a 274 hitter. He's only 21 years old. Right-hand batter from Venezuela in his second full major league season. And among leadoff men in the American League, he sees the most pitches. He's not a big walk guy. He's only walked 53 times, but sees a lot of pitches. Knocked to right coming on Swisher to make the play for out number 1. Relatively short at bat for him.
Ronnie Washington was talking about his young shortstop before the game, saying that he's learning what it's like to grind it out right now. These dog days right now, the average getting away from him a little bit. It's a learning process.
He makes it out. That brings up the veteran Michael Young, who's now at third base. 291, 16 home runs. He can still swing it, and he scored the winning run last night after leading off the 10th with a single and just beat Derek Jeter's throw to first base. And Hamilton on deck.
Michael's going to have to get hot if he's going to reach that 200 hit mark that he has done so many times in his career. Had a really tough road trip.
In fact, there were a number of Ranger hitters right now, key guys, core guys who are scuffling in the month of August. He's one of them. Hamilton's numbers are down this month. Vlad Guerrero's are also down.
Well, and this has kind of been the key for the Rangers over the last several years, where they've faded. People have talked about the heat down here. To me, the big difference, though, has been the pitching. You know, the home ERA is actually lower than that for the Rangers than it is on the road.
How about that?
A lot of credit has to go to their pitching coach, Mike Maddox.
The 2-1. He lets it go outside. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. Young had been 0 for 15 before that infield single that started the 10th inning rally. Hamilton also had a hit in that inning, and Murphy had the biggest one. High fly. That one slicing deep into the corner. On the move, Swisher. Back he goes. He leaps, and that ball is gone. A home run. It is out of here. Michael Young with number 17. Right off the foul pole. And that makes it 1-0 Texas. Swisher wants to get a look at that replay to make sure.
Well, and you know, it took first base umpire Bill Hahn a little bit of time. Immediately he signaled that the ball was fair, but he did not signal that it was a home run until later on. Swisher's down into the corner. I mean, you know that Michael Young knows this ballpark. He knows it carries in that direction just enough to give the Rangers the lead.
Off the pole and definitely a home run for Young. So a quick start for Texas against Javier Vasquez, who has now surrendered 22 home runs. Hamilton socks that one foul. We'll take another glance at that pole.
One of those things, it's hard to explain. Why? I have kids all the time ask me, why do they call that a foul pole? I mean, if it hits it, it's foul, right? No, it's not. Right off the side of it, just inside the ballpark.
Only 325 down there. The Tapper, here's Cano. And Hamilton is retired. 2 down. And now a look at the Yankees defensively behind Javier Vasquez. Austin Kearns, a new acquisition in left field. The speedy Gardner's in center field, and Swisher, who has really improved defensively.
Well, he made some outstanding plays in that Red Sox series over the weekend.
A-Rod and Jeter, of course, A-Rod, a former shortstop on the left side. Cano and Berkman with Teixeira out and back home in New York, and Posada does the catching. And here's the slumping Vladimir Guerrero. With a run on the board, goes after the first pitch and knocks it foul. He's hitting only 185 this month, and he has not homered in August.
That's got to be a concern for the Rangers. Vladimir right now looks a lot like the Vladimir that finished the season for the Angels.
And that Vladimir looked like he was an old man, quite frankly.
Looked like he was done. I mean, you knew he couldn't play the outfield anymore. And it didn't look like he had any bat speed. Didn't look like he could run anymore. He was, I mean, he found the fountain of youth the first half of the season. Probably drive in 100 runs yet this year. But, I mean, it's going to be tough for him to get there at this pace.
He's still among the major league leaders in RBIs with 86. 21 home runs. And he's 3 for 9 lifetime against Vasquez. Vasquez has really had a lot of difficulty keeping the ball in the ballpark. 22 homers. His opponent tonight, Cliff Lee, by comparison, has only allowed 9. Popped him up sky high in right center. Cano has plenty of time to get out. And he'll make the catch. Side retired, but Michael Young connects. And barely off the foul pole, glancing off the pole down the right field line to give Texas the 1-0 lead over the New York Yankees on a Wednesday night.
It's the biggest event of the summer. SummerSlam. After months of terrorizing WWE, will the Nexus finally meet its match in a blockbuster 7-on-7 showdown against Team WWE, led by John Cena? Plus, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus defends the WWE Championship against the Viper Randy Orton. And Rey Mysterio challenges Kane for the World Heavyweight Championship. WWE SummerSlam, live Sunday, August 15th on DirecTV pay-per-view. Tune to channel 115 for more information.
Well, we get along. Yeah, we really do. And there's nothing wrong with what I feel for you. We hang around till the leaves are brown and the summer's gone.
When you're not worried about potential dangers, the world can be a far less threatening place. Take the scary out of life with Travelers Insurance and see the world in a different light.
Birkenfield QR76 binoculars. Perfect for those who didn't buy their tickets on StubHub. For 10 years, StubHub has been the place to find great tickets to sports, concerts, and more. StubHub, where do you want to sit?
It was just gigantic.
It was humongous. Enormous, huge bill.
That's actually when we switched to Vonage.
The service is great. I don't see any difference with the call quality. More, I can just pick up the phone, call
as many family members as I want. Ugh, why did I not do this earlier? I'm Laura Pruden, and this was my last bill
before I switched to Vonage.
Sign up for Vonage World and get your first month of service free with unlimited domestic and international calls. Go to Vonage.com or call now.
With these, on Wednesdays, I could do some laundry or get Pizza Hut's wings. I'm thinking wings.
Don't miss Pizza Hut's 50-cent Wing Wednesdays. Every wing is 50 cents each every Wednesday. That's every flavor. Only on Wednesdays and only at your Pizza Hut.
Back in Texas, Rick Sutcliffe, Dave O'Brien with you. 1-0 Rangers on the Michael Young home run. Glancing off the right field foul pole. And Cliff Lee gets a little early run support. He'll take on Cano, Posada, and Kearns. Robinson Cano, who did not start last night because of a cold and a fever, but eventually came on in the 6th inning and went 1 for 2 at the plate in the Yankee defeat. Yankees trying to avoid a 3-game losing skid. The first pitch misses for ball 1.
Robinson, not one of the Yankees that's had much success against Cliff Lee. 227.
And not an extra base hit as he skies a pop-up. And Young on the warning track in front of the Yankee dugout there to make the catch. And a very tough hitter goes down. One man gone. George W. Bush is in the house, the former Rangers owner. Let's toss it back to the studio and J.W. Stewart.
Howdy, Dave. Thanks very much. The Sports Center right now sponsored by Sprint. U.S. Ryder Cup captain Corey Pavin said he was misquoted when he said he would pick Tiger Woods for the team. Pavin would only say the world's #1 player is high on his list as a wild card pick. The Tigers beat the Rays 3-2. Ryan Rayburn's 2-run home run in the 6th broke a 1-1 tie. It's good news for the Yanks, who can lead the AL East by 1.5 games at the end of the night. Sports Center after the game. Stay current with ESPN News. Dave?
JW, thank you very much. Jorge Posada, the switch hitting catcher, in on the right side. Gets a piece and fouls it back. He's at 258 with a dozen homers and 39 RBIs. And 292 lifetime against Lee. You can see Jorge scuffling a little bit right now. 4 out of 21.
Had some physical problems as of late.
Another one fouled back, and it's Austin Kearns on deck.
Jorge next Tuesday is going to celebrate his 39th birthday. A young man in a lot of other areas. That's not young for a catcher. Amazing that he's still putting up the big offensive numbers he is.
He probably has mornings where those knees feel about 80. Taking ball into the dirt. Of course, Jeter just turned 36 in June. A-Rod is now 35. And the other big man in that core group of Yankees, Mariano Rivera.
Well, and Andy Pettit. Right along with that. Andy right now on the disabled list.
In there for strike 3. Got him looking. That's the 3rd K already for Cliff Lee.
And it's the 2nd strikeout that he has got looking. Marcus Thames went down for the 2nd out in the 1st inning. He slowed down the bat speed, a couple of off-speed pitches down in the zone, and then he comes right back at just 90 miles an hour, but perfectly located to completely lock up Jorge Posada.
K-Zone brought to you by Denny's.
He hasn't had a 2-ball count on anybody yet. You know, a lot of times you're concerned going into a game and maybe overhyping a guy. I don't feel that way tonight about Cliff Lee.
Strike 1, which he does better than 70% of the time. He gets in front of Austin Kearns, batting .272 with 8 home runs. Kearns acquired from the Cleveland Indians. One of the flurry of deals the Yankees made before the deadline.
I tell you what, I give General Manager Brian Cashman a lot of credit. He saw that they were struggling against some left-handed pitching. He went out and brought in Kearns. He brought in the switch hitter Lance Berkman in the on-deck circle there. Some guys that can cure that ailment.
Another strike in the count 1-2. Now Berkman on deck. Forced into first base duty tonight with Teixeira out. Teixeira will be joining the team in Kansas City right after this series ends tonight. And down he goes, strike 3. Cliff Lee, an absolute strike throwing machine. He gets them 1, 2, 3 to 3 called strikeouts already.
Well, man, we have an excellent football team. When you think about all the things that we accomplished last year, we still never accomplished our goal, and that's to win a Super Bowl. And when we do, that's going to give us that edge. That's what's going to put us over the top, and that's what's going to make us world champions. and then it's on. It's time to win a Super Bowl.
Hard Knocks, training camp with the New York Jets. Tonight at 10/9 Central.
Attention. The anti-acne drug Accutane is a very dangerous drug. If you or a loved one took Accutane and now have inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, or your colon has been removed, call the Jonathan Fontenot Law Firm to see if you may qualify for financial compensation.
Several juries have recently awarded millions of dollars to Accutane victims.
If you ever took Accutane or any of these generic versions and you now suffer from any of these conditions, call 1-800-693-3487.
Give yourself an edge. New One-A-Day Men's Pro Edge. A complete multivitamin with more magnesium to help support healthy muscle function. More B vitamins to help convert food to fuel. More confidence in a healthy you. New One-A-Day Men's Pro Edge.
We speak value. And people like what we're saying. About how Fusion is projected to hold its resale value better than Camry. And has better quality than Accord. As a matter of fact, people like what we're saying so much, Ford Fusion is now the 2010 Motor Trend Car of the Year. The Fusion from Ford. Get in and drive one.
Arby's has a new Junior Deluxe. Oven roast beef, lettuce, tomato, dab of mayo. It's on the value menu. It starts at just $1. I get to be the big man without being the big spender.
Introducing the new Junior Deluxe, now on the value menu starting at $1. Only at Arby's.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball, presented by Captain Morgan, is brought to you by One-A-Day Men's Pro Edge, the multivitamin with more of what matters. And Fusion, the 2010 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Get in and drive one.
Well, back here in the Dallas area where they're battling a string of 100-degree days, Nelson Cruz fouls the first one away for strike one. Bottom of the second inning, Rangers on top here 1-0. David Murphy on deck, then Benji Molina here for the Rangers. In last night's extra inning win, Texas ended a streak of 29 straight losses to the Yankees here in Arlington when Mariano Rivera pitched. It's going all the way back to August of '96. They had not won a game against the Yankees here when Rivera pitched in the contest. So the Rangers hoping the worm is turning against the Yankees a little bit. That one rocketed into left field. On one bounce, it gets to Kearns. A sharp single for Cruz.
Talk about something turning around. Wow.
Cruz hitting over 300. ESPN's coverage of Major League Baseball continues Sunday. A battle of NL East rivals from Citi Field. Raul Ibanez and the Phillies taking on David Wright and the Mets. That's ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball at 8 o'clock Eastern. Both games also available on ESPN3.com. David Murphy getting a nice hand. He was the star last night, hitting .271 with 8 homers, but it was his single with the bases loaded that won the ball game against Rivera in the 10th inning. He also homered in that game.
That at bat was really un-Mariano Rivera-like. We were still here watching the game. I mean, he fell behind badly after an intentional walk to Cruz. When he fell behind 3-0, I mean, Murphy watched 2 strikes, and then the last pitch was really just kind of a get-over fastball.
Popped it up. Cano backpedaling. Coming on behind him, Swisher, and Cano will take it. One man out, but back to last night into the 10th.
Well, you just kind of take a look at it. I mean, there's the home run off A.J. Burnett. Boy, that was a huge blow. That really woke up this crowd last night. And then there it is in the last inning there. Bases were loaded, only 1 out. 3-0 to begin with. He took a couple of strikes, and he saw the very same thing on the 3rd pitch, and that was the end of the ball game.
He also made a terrific throw to home plate to cut down a base runner and save a run for Burnett.
And that was a great play on the part of Molina at home plate, throwing out Swisher at home.
A save a run for Texas against A.J. Burnett.
Well, and it was a 1-run decision. I mean, Mariano would have been on in a save situation rather than a tie situation. I just think that the Yankees are a little bit short right now. As well as they're playing, they're still not clicking on all cylinders, which might be good news for Joe Girardi.
Molina hitting just .217. He takes one inside.
Joe, I don't think he's really figured out that 8th inning spot yet. Kerry Wood has been added to the mix down there along with Java. Marte's on the DL. Aceves probably not going to be back. Teixeira won't be back with them until they get to Kansas City tomorrow.
Cruz at first base, and he has to hurry back in.
Great situation for Ron Washington to put the game in motion here. A little bit of speed at first base. Cruz can steal a bag. Molina can handle the bat. You want to try to stay out of the double play.
Vasquez fires, and a fly ball lifted to right field, but there's Swisher. Doesn't have to go all the way back to the wall on this one, and they're 2 down. Now time for an update. Let's get it back to the studio. Here's J.W. Stewart.
All right, Dave, thanks very much. Baseball Tonight updates. Red Sox and Jays. Bill Hall has homered twice, both off Sean Markham. Solo home run and a 2-run blast for his 4th career multi-homer game and first with Boston. Sean Markham pulled after giving up 4 home runs tonight. Also gave up long balls to Adrian Beltre and J.D. Drew. Red Sox cruising north of the border, 8-1. Dave, Sut, back to you.
JW, thank you very much. Mitch Moreland playing first base tonight. Up on the left side here for Texas. He is hitless in his last 7 games. Has a runner at first with 2 down. And a 1-0 Rangers advantage.
I believe it was Sean Markham that gave up number 600, wasn't it?
That is correct. To Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez also hit number 500 on that very same date a couple of years before that. And another thing I didn't know, Derek Jeter was on base for both of them.
Moreland just called up from the minor leagues, 24 years old. At AAA Oklahoma City, he was hitting .289 with a dozen home runs in 95 games. And they called on him at the end of July.
Always had to prove himself. He wasn't a high draft pick. Always had barriers in front of him. Ron Washington really proud of this guy and how he got to the big leagues.
He takes one up and away from Vasquez.
You know, it was always Chris Davis that we heard about. You know, the big power threat and what was going to happen. And then Justin Smoke came along, and he was all of a sudden moved in front of Moreland. Well, Smoke goes to Seattle. Davis struggles, and all Moreland does is continue to hit.
Davis struck out a ton. In there for a called strike. Texas didn't make a lot of news other than, of course, Cliff Lee as far as acquisitions, but they've got another one on deck, and Christian Guzman, the switch hitting second baseman.
Well, and bad news for the Rangers. Ian Kindler is going to be out probably until at least September the 1st. So that could be a huge acquisition. He turned a nice double play last night at being Guzman.
Outside, good eye by Moreland. Vasquez again only throwing about 87, 88 for the most part.
You know,
this is his second tour with the Yankees. Went 14-10 for them in 04.
Jorge Posada doesn't throw real well. Kind of surprised that Cruz is still at first base. Led off with a base hit and hasn't tried to get to second base yet.
He's 15 stolen bases. Not running here. High pop-up twisting foul. A-Rod over to give it a look, but it's off into the stands.
People might wonder, after Vasquez throwing 200 innings every year, winning 14 games back in 04 for the Yankees, how come they let him go? Well, Game 7 of the ALCS. One swing of the bat by Johnny Damon. A grand slam homer, and that was the end of his tenure in the pinstripes, at least for that time.
He had a rough playoff series. He gave up 6 earned runs in that series.
3 homers in that league championship series.
The 3-2 runner now goes, and that's in there for strike 3. Caught him looking. Side retired, 1 man left. When we come back, Sut's winning baseball. Always look for that. 1-0 Texas at the end of 2.
I can't believe that we just drove across the street to save 2 cents.
I don't need to hear your 2 cents about all the things I do to save 2 cents.
You see that a lot these days. People going out of their way to save money when they could just call State Farm. The fact is, State Farm offers discounts of up to 40%.
Hey, pick me up a Charleston Chew.
Cannot hear you.
It's no wonder they're bigger than Geico and Progressive combined. So talk to your neighbors, then call an agent at 1-800-STATE-FARM.
What?
Hey, could I play with the toys?
Sure, but let me get a little information first. For broccoli, say 1. For toys, say 2.
Toys.
The system can't process your response at this time.
What?
Please call back between 8 and 5 Central Standard Time.
He's in control.
Goodbye.
Even kids know it's wrong to give someone the runaround. At Ally Bank, you never have to deal with an endless automated system. You can talk to a real person 24/7. It's just the right thing to do.
Okay, class. Our special guest is here, Ellen Page.
We're going on a field trip to China.
Wow. When I was a kid, we would just go to the farm. No, seriously, where are you guys going?
The new classroom. See it, live it, share it on the Human Network. Cisco.
Yankees down 1-0 as we go to the top of the third inning. They need some offense. There's the swing doctor, their hitting coach, Kevin Long. Let's talk about coaches that can make a difference. Go back to Alex Rodriguez when he was with the Texas Rangers. A younger guy could get away with a lot more movement. See how much more upright he was back then? We'll take a look at how the things that went on back then. He was able to create a lot of offense, hitting 50 homers every year. You take a look at the high leg kick, how he was able to get it up, get it in place, get it back down, get into position to hit the ball with authority. Well, when he went to New York, all of a sudden that changed. He started having some hip problems. Things had to be abbreviated for him to have success. It was Kevin Long, along with Alex Rodriguez, that made that adjustment, and OB kept him in a position to where he could be productive.
Always amazes me how hitters tinker so much, even great successful hitters like Alex Rodriguez, with whatever formula got them there. And Josh Hamilton talked to you about how different he is in batting practice now than he used to be when he liked putting on a show. Berkman pops this one foul back out of play. We'll hear more from Hamilton. He had a wonderful conversation with him today.
Well, Josh, with a lot of confidence in the advice he got from the Rangers' new hitting coach, Clint Hurdle. Talked about the toe tap. Clint Hurdle gave him a month. He just let him go. But after a month of struggling and not putting up the numbers he expected, Clint said, hey, you know what? I got an idea for you. They made some adjustments, and wow.
Check swing, and he did not offer. Down and in on Lance Berkman. He played first base last night. He's in there again tonight. The first game Mark Teixeira missed to be home with his wife Lee and their new son, William Charles, born on Tuesday, the third child for the Teixeiras.
I think Lance Berkman is going to be a huge acquisition for the Yankees.
You know, he's been hearing boos at Yankee Stadium. He got off to a cold start, 2 for 22.
He said that he would have booed himself. You know, I mean, you know, you're not putting up numbers.
Speared by Lee, quickly gets rid of it. That's his style. He didn't hang on to it very long, and quickly gets rid of Berkman.
But I'll tell you the one thing about Lance Berkman. I mean, you think about the Astros giving up really two icons in Roy Oswalt and Berkman. A lot of their success came from those two guys. Lance Berkman would not have gone to New York if he didn't feel like he could help and be productive. He may not figure it out against Cliff Lee, but he will.
Lee always in a hurry, even on comebackers. And here's Brett Gardner, who's also in a hurry with his great wheels, hitting 279. But you see this, 2 for his last 30. He's having a very chilly month of August. Young is in close to guard against the bunt at third, and it's in there for strike one.
I was talking with Joe Girardi about Kevin Long, and he said, you know what, he knows the little things. The little things that the hitters sometimes don't recognize. And he said it doesn't have to be after an 0 for 4 or an 0 for 5. It could be after one at bat that they can go down there and fix that.
Strike 2. Jeter on deck.
You've got exactly the same thing on the opposite dugout in the pitching coach Mike Maddox. This is a great chess match between those two guys here tonight. Mike Maddox, what a job everybody talks about he's Greg's older brother. No, he's not. He's one of the better pitching coaches in the game, along with being Greg's brother.
Greg's older brother. So he'll always have that. He can lord that over him forever.
You know, I was there when they faced each other in Philadelphia, and the younger brother beat the older brother in a big league game. That might have been the only time I was pulling for Mike.
Fly ball toward the alley. Cruz on the move. Is he going to get there? Yes, he runs it down. That ball really took off as Gardner knocked one deep into the gap. But Cruz on his horse hauls it in. A nice running play.
Boy, it always does carry in that direction. We have seen Juan Gonzalez. We've seen Pudge Rodriguez. We've seen a lot of people hit a lot of home runs in that area. Rafael Palmeiro. What a great jump and what a great route and the speed of Cruz to run down that extra base hit.
So you think about the big guys in their outfield. Cruz is a big guy, and so, of course, is Hamilton at 6'4", 235. They can both flat haul. They can go get it. So 2 down. Lee has had 2 strikes on 7 of the 9 batters he's faced. Throws ball 1 to Jeter, though. Jeter ripped a single in the first inning. That was Cruz diving ahead in right field. He could not make the catch. It was off his mitt. Right by the mound, but there's Andrus behind the bag to throw him out. And 1, 2, 3 they go. That's 9 in a row retired by Cliff Lee. Look out there for the New York Yankees, because the lefty is in a groove. 1-0 Texas.
A star-studded field is showcased at the World Series of Poker's main event. Who will rise? Who will fall? Who improves their chances of cashing in on one of the biggest payouts ever? The World Series of Poker, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
What's up, man? Keys. Stacy. Keys, girl. Billy.
Hi, boy.
Sarah. Hermes. What's up, little buddy? Wingtip sandals, let's go. Nobody flying tonight. Hold it there, big guy. Yeah, the warp drive. Hand it over.
Your culture is primitive, yet so funky.
There are captains in every crew. Calling all captains. Drink responsibly.
It's me, the Lime. Welcome to the Taco Bell Cantina Taco. Marinated steak, cilantro, and me, your host to a new taco experience. And that deserves respect. The whole new taco awaits from Taco Bell.
The Comedy Central roast of David Hasselhoff, Sunday at 10.
I just got a text from you that you're breaking up with me.
Don't worry about that. I switched to Sprint's $69.99 plan, so I wasn't charged extra.
Okay, I just got your breakup email.
Emails are unlimited, too. And look, I just changed my Facebook status to single, but internet's also unlimited.
Yeah.
Why just talk with AT&T and Verizon? Sprint has unlimited text, web, and calling to any mobile for $69.99.
If your man used Old Spice instead of lady-scented body washes, he could smell like he took you on more of these while wearing this. Or this. But probably this. All over this.
Texas with a 1-0 lead on a home run by Michael Young in the first inning. Last half of the third inning, and it'll be Christian Guzman, just acquired. He's at second base tonight. The all-star second baseman Ian Kinsler is still about a week away from swinging a bat. He's been out with a groin injury on the disabled list.
Well, Obi, it's all about the big lead that you talked about that they've got right now. They've got the luxury of waiting until he's 100%.
So they get Guzman from Washington on July 21st. And of course, when they get Kinsler back, they get a big bat for the stretch run and postseason play should they qualify. And they certainly look like they're headed that way with the biggest division lead in baseball.
Before Kinsler got hurt, he was hitting third for the Rangers.
Slapped to the right side, and Berkman the underhand flip in time for Vasquez. One man out. So one away here. Time for a Sports Center right now. We head back to the studio and J.W. Stewart.
Dave, thank you very much. Citgo keeping you in the game. Takes us to Citi Field, home of the Mets. Taking on the Rockies tonight. That's Angel Pagan, a 2-run home run, his 10th, extending his career high. Right now, 2-1 Mets. Back to Obie and Sut in Arlington.
Thanks, JW. Elvis Andrus 0 for 1. He is lined out to right field. He was a first-time All-Star this year. He has not hit a home run in 532 consecutive at-bats.
That's all by design. If you take a look at the spray chart on him, on where he puts the ball in play, he is all over the place, which is a compliment to him and Clint Hurdle. It's all about making contact and really having an unselfish approach to his at-bats.
Well, he's probably going to score 100 runs with this ball club as the leadoff man. He looks at the ball here.
Clint Hurdle and Ron Washington talking before the game. They rave about this kid. He's got great makeup. He's intelligent. And you know what? The word I love, he's coachable. He's coachable. That means he's going to improve.
1-1 pitch on the corner. Well, the Rangers really look at Andrus as sort of their answer and the successor, frankly, in the American League in terms of all-star shortstops, Derek Jeter, for many years to come. That was said of Jeter right at the beginning of his career. He's the most coachable guy coming up from the minors.
Still is.
Remember how he used to get alongside Don Zimmer? Like if he'd make a mistake in the field, if he'd commit an error or something, or didn't make a play he was supposed to make, he'd come up to Zimmer and he said, Zimmer loved it.
What'd I do?
What'd I do?
Help me get better.
On one hop, Cano, who's been terrific defensively all year, makes that stab. 2 up and 2 down.
Really, the whole infield for Joe Girardi has been outstanding. 2 errors all year long for Robinson Cano. Only 2 for Mark Teixeira, who, of course, is not here tonight. Derek Jeter with 4. Alex Rodriguez with only 6 errors.
However, errors and error totals don't always tell the story. That right side of the infield, I would agree with you, and Cano and Teixeira when he's there is as good as it gets. But A-Rod and Jeter, let's face it, they don't get to a lot of balls that they used to get to.
Well, the total chances won't be there like they will be for Elvis Andrus. But you know what? Positioning, I remember playing with Cal Ripken late in his career. And you know what? The range might not have been there, but the plays were still being made because of the maturity, the experience that you have in the league, knowing where to play, knowing your pitcher. All of that, I think, is right there, almost as important as the athleticism.
Well, Berkman can certainly do a serviceable job over there, but Teixeira's a Gold Glover. They'll get him back tomorrow into the dirt on Young, who's belted a home run tonight.
Kind of funny that you think about the Gold Gloves in the American League and how many of them are here. In 08, Michael Young was the American League Gold Glove winner at shortstop for the Rangers. Alex Rodriguez won a couple at shortstop when he was with the Rangers. And, of course, what's Jeter got, 4 or 5? Or I know he got the gold and silver last year.
And Jeter, a 4-time Gold Glover. Josh Hamilton on deck. Vasquez delivers and missed with it. Young's home run is 17th of the season. Only hitting 176 for the month coming into tonight. But maybe the start of a hot stretch for him. He's also driven in 65 runs. So Michael Young could still hit. He's been one of the best hitters in the league for a long time as he knocks that one foul.
He knows how to hit in this ballpark too, man. He's only under 300 on the year, but almost 330 when he's playing here at home. 16 homers, now 17 with that swing in the first inning. 65 RBIs. He scored 77 runs in what, he would probably consider an off year for him.
Well, hitting under 300 coming into tonight. Checks his swing and fouls that one away. He's got a piece of it up and in. The season did not begin very well for this Texas team. They actually started off kind of sour. They lost 9 of their first 14 games.
A lot of talk they were going to lose their manager the first month of the season.
Ron Washington, but their winning percentage is .612 since that bad start. It's the highest in baseball.
You and I talk a lot of times about how you don't fool people in the clubhouse. The Ranger players love Ron Washington.
Jeter there to charge, flip on the run and get him. And the side is retired. There are a lot of Yankee fans tonight wearing Derek Jeter jerseys right here in Arlington, Texas. Vasquez gets him in order. 1-0, the Rangers.
People are shocked to find out I'm a mom. I hear hot babysitter a lot. Hi. My Sienna is great. Matches my style. It has great stuff for my kids. It has an available dual view entertainment center. Driving my Sienna says, sure, I'm a mom, but I'm not running around rocking mom jeans.
Miss, there's a diaper bag on your roof.
Please.
Meet the family in the Toyota Sienna on YouTube.
It's the Fusion Pro Glide Challenge. Woo! Hey, man, how you doing? How's your shave?
Kind of like tugging and pulling.
See how shaving can cause irritating tug and pull?
That's why Gillette's introducing the revolutionary new Fusion Pro Glide.
It glides, like literally.
Now Fusion Pro Glide has been engineered with Gillette's thinnest blades ever, so it glides for less tug and pull. Turns shaving into gliding and skeptics into believers. New Fusion Pro Glide. And warm up before you shave for incredible comfort with new Pro Series Thermal Scrub.
McDonald's new line of Angus snack wraps. Although more maneuverable than its burger predecessor, its payload is still substantial. Angus beef bundled with fresh tomato and crinkle-cut pickles in a sleek snack-sized wrap. So, it is imperative to keep the nose of the snack wrap elevated to ensure... Pull up! Pull up! To ensure the contents do not shift in transit. Angus Axiom number 81. Please remain seated for the duration of the feast. McDonald's new Angus snack wraps. The simple joy of Angus.
It was just gigantic.
It was humongous. Enormous, huge bill.
That's actually when we switched to Vonage.
The service is great. I don't see any difference with the call quality. Or I can just pick up the phone, call
as many family members as I want. Ugh, why did I not do this earlier? I'm Laura Pruden, and this was my last bill
before I switched to Vonage.
Sign up for Vonage World and get your first month of service free with unlimited domestic and international calls. Go to Vonage.com or call now.
Welcome back to Wednesday Night Baseball, presented by Captain Morgan. A sweltering night here in Texas. Rangers and the Yankees. Many are calling this a preview of the American League Championship Series. We shall see. October is still a ways away. About 50 games remaining in the regular season for these clubs. I want to talk about Joe Girardi in Chicago, with the Cubs job coming open, with Lou Piniella retiring at the end of the season. And of course, Joe is a Northwestern guy and a Peoria guy.
Played for the Cubs. Yeah. Started his career there.
He's not talking about it. No. Others are speaking about it and writing about it in Chicago.
People are talking about Ryan Sandberg.
Ryan Sandberg is the other name you hear, I think, about equal with Girardi's for that job.
You can't go wrong either way.
Nick Swisher 0 for 1. He whiffed in the first inning. One of 2 strikeouts for Lee in that frame, who has struck out 4 in the game. Swisher was just 7 for 30 on the Yankees homestand, in which they went 3 and 4 against Toronto and Boston. It's that one off the end of the bat. Andrus gobbles and gets him. One man gone. Back to Mike Maddox.
Well, another one of those coaches that win ball games for organizations. You take a look at the pitch counts at the minor league level and the major league level. They are way down for the Texas Rangers. Look at the effect that he had when he left the Brewers. He was with the Brewers in 08. Look at that ERA, how it went up the following year. Take a look at where it was at in 08 before he got to Texas. Look at that, almost a full point difference in just one guy. Cliff Lee wasn't added last year. That was all a difference in philosophy, and it started at the top. It started with Nolan Ryan talking about conditioning and backing up Mike Maddox, that we have to be in better shape if we're going to pitch deeper into the ball games. They have done that. They've got guys out there now, and Cliff Lee was the perfect addition. I mean, here's a guy that even before he got here, he wants to finish what he starts.
Marcus Thames 0 for 1, caught looking on a 3rd strike. Well, Lee is a free agent at the end of the season. The Rangers say they're going to make every effort to keep him here. His Arkansas home is less than an hour away by plane.
4 hours by car, which we're told his parents don't like to fly.
So close enough. Ripped into center field for a base hit. Thames got on top of that one and knocked the single And that is just the second hit tonight for the Yankees off Cliff Lee.
You know, you just don't know what it's going to cost the Rangers to keep him here. I would say it had to start at Roy Halladay money, which is $20 million a year. But when you look around this ballpark, and granted, the Yankees pack a lot of ballparks wherever they go, but Cliff Lee, since he signed, the average attendance has gone from 25,000 a game to almost 40,000 because of the addition of one player.
And I'll tell you what, their television, their local cable television ratings have gone through the roof as A-Rod takes a strike. They had their highest rating ever last night. Wow. For the Yankees and Texas game. This game is sold out.
This will do better than that one.
Yeah, I think it will with Lee.
You know, and they talked about his first 2 starts here. The walk-up crowd that they had broke all of the records in the history of this franchise because of him.
Standing room only tonight. A-Rod looks at a strike, and he falls behind 0-2. 1 out, 1 on. Cano on deck. 1-0 Texas. You know this big crowd is itching for a strikeout of the man who played here for 3 seasons.
Well, because of what he admitted he was doing while he played here.
Missed inside. Now, A-Rod has hit at least 30 home runs 12 years in a row. At this pace, he is not going to get there this year. By the way, the new ownership group of the Rangers, which just outbid Mark Cuban for the club in federal bankruptcy court, still owes A-Rod a ton of money. As that one misses, $25 million in deferred salary. That's part of the debt that Nolan Ryan's group has to take on. Still paying A-Rod. As mentioned, plenty of Yankee fans here in Arlington tonight. Slice foul back out of play.
I looked at the numbers earlier today as well on Alex Rodriguez, thinking about the career home run record and whether he'll get there or not. From 01 to 07, he averaged 47 home runs. 01 to 07. Since then, he's only hit 83. Everybody was talking about 800 and this and that. That's not going to happen.
Well, the Hall of Fame columnist Bill Madden just mentioned this week he didn't think that A-Rod was going to get to Barry Bonds' number of 762. The way he has fallen off, and as you said, since admitting that he used performance-enhancing drugs.
Well, and he admitted it from 01 to 03 when he was here. There's people that wonder about that.
601 home runs.
And he really didn't admit it. He got caught. I mean, that's the bottom line.
And was forced to cop to it. The runner goes, and it's fouled away. Thames on the move. He'll head on back to first.
But I tell you what, he deserves all the credit in the world for what he did last year in the postseason. I mean, he hit the home run off Nathan in the division series. He hit a homer off Fuentes to tie a ball game. Well, when they needed him to come up big, he did some things he had never done before.
The one thing he's not doing is hitting left-handers. He's only batting .200 against left-handed pitching this season. Again, Thames goes. That one driven deep into left center field. Hamilton won't get it. It's up against the track into the fence. Thames being waved around. He's trying to score. The throw home is too late. A-Rod with a double, and that ties the game at 1. A deep, long line drive for a 2-base hit for A-Rod, and the crowd's going to let him hear it here. But Thames comes in all the way from first base, and this game is dead even at 1.
Well, that was a great battle right there. He came back from an 0-2 count. He laid off several real difficult pitches. Lee just missed the outside corner a couple of times. Here he comes back to the inside corner, and Alex Rodriguez did not miss that. Right off the base of the wall at 404, and with the runner off and running, Thames was able to tie the ball game up.
And now the Yankees with a chance to take the lead on a base hit. Robinson Cano 0 for 1. He's popped out foul to third. Cano third in the majors in hits with 142. Takes it inside around the hands for ball one. So back-to-back hits off of Cliff Lee. And Cano trying to make it 3 in a row. 329 with 21 homers, and he leads all second basemen in the majors with 72 runs batted in. A-Rod at second. Only one out. Pop foul back off into the stands.
Robinson Cano really dares you to come in on him. Got him to pop up the first time he was there. That last pitch right in on his hands. He'll give you that. If you can stay there for 3 pitches in a row, you know, I'll tip my hat to you. But boy, if you make a mistake out over the plate, he can hurt you with the long ball more so now than before in his career.
He's 5 out of 23 in his career against Lee, and all 5 of them are singles. 1 and 2.
What a great pitch that was. You pounded him in the first at bat. You pound him in the first 2 pitches here, and then you just take a little bit off a breaking ball to get that second strike.
Well, the way he hits against Lee, he'd gladly take another single right here. That could put the Yankees in the lead for the first time tonight. Lee really slowing down his tempo, working with Molina. Now Molina's going to come out and talk about it.
I'll tell you what's interesting to look at the numbers. You'd think it'd be the other way around, but Robinson Cano this year has been intentionally passed 11 times. Alex Rodriguez only 1. That's the respect that the league has gotten for the Yankees' young second baseman.
He's turned into one of the great young hitters in the game.
I mean, if there's a right-hander on the mound right now, this might be an intentional pass here before this at bat started.
1 down and 2 high. 91 on the radar gun.
Cano did not play last night. In fact, he wasn't even dressed last night. Joe Girardi said that he had a tough case of the flu and he would play tonight, but he definitely wouldn't be at 100%.
He did have a hit when entering the game in the 6th inning last night. Went 1 for 2. Broken bat behind first. Fair ball. Moreland gets the out there down to third base. Moves Alex Rodriguez with 2 down. That play goes first baseman unassisted. Coming to you tonight from red hot Arlington, Texas. It's ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball presented by Captain Morgan. Dave O'Brien and Rick Sutcliffe alongside. 99 degrees right now, so it's cooled off several degrees. And the president is here. Nolan Ryan as well. Nolan Ryan, who is about to take official control of the Texas Rangers after his bid in the bankruptcy auction was accepted.
Boy, he has changed everything around here since Nolan took charge. It's almost like he's pitching again.
Posada takes a breaking ball for a strike. He whiffed in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. It's a very, very popular win, by the way, here in the Metroplex area. And the federal bankruptcy court, when it was announced that he had the winning bid, that his group had the winning bid, there was a standing ovation in the packed courtroom. He remains an immensely popular man.
You know what was amazing too was the fact that that's really the first time in a long time that the Rangers were able to put the Cowboys on the 2nd page of the sports page. I mean, the fans really showed how much they wanted to keep the Rangers here and they wanted Nolan to have it.
In for a strike. Posada didn't think so. He thought it missed low. He argues with Paul Emmel.
I didn't think that Molina caught this ball very well. Let's take a look at it here. It looked like a strike. I mean, it was on the inner half of the plate. But look at how he really boxed that pitch and pushed it down. That was not Benji, Yadier, or Jose Molina-like.
K-Zone brought to you by Denny's. Posada strikes out looking. No argument on that last one. Second time that Lee has pinned him to the plate. However, the Yankees put 2 consecutive hits together. A-Rod with the key double. And this one is tied. It's Hamilton, Guerrero, and Cruz. Big bats up next for Texas.
Well, everything looks good. We've got your car in stock. Let's just check out your credit score and we'll work out your financing.
All right, sounds good.
Did you know everyone has 3 credit scores and just 1?
It's the biggest event of the summer. SummerSlam.
After months of terrorizing WWE, will the Nexus finally meet its match in a blockbuster 7-on-7 showdown against Team WWE, led by John Cena? Plus, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus defends the WWE Championship against the Viper Randy Orton. And Rey Mysterio challenges Kane for the World Heavyweight Championship. WWE SummerSlam, live Sunday, August 15th on DirecTV pay-per-view. Tune to channel 115 for more information.
See them boys? They got NFL Sunday ticket. Been watching the Eagles game on their phones and laptops since they got here. No respect for their surroundings.
Ma'am?
Be right there, Shug. Here you go, fellas.
Watch entire games live on your cell phone. Upgrade to NFL Sunday Ticket to go.
Over 10,000 teams.
2-0 on the fifth. 2-0 in the fifth.
With live stats, up-to-date previews, and post-game recaps. Oh, and you personalize it to follow your favorite leagues and teams even more closely. Not sure how it works, but it does.
With these, on Wednesdays, I could do some laundry or get Pizza Hut's wings. I'm thinking wings.
Don't miss Pizza Hut's 50-cent Wing Wednesdays. Every wing is 50 cents each every Wednesday. That's every flavor. Only on Wednesdays and only at your Pizza Hut.
As a manager, my team counts on me to stay focused, so I take One-A-Day Men's 50-Plus Advantage. It's the only complete multivitamin with ginkgo to support memory and concentration. Plus, it supports heart health. That's a hit. One-A-Day Men's.
The Boys and Girls Clubs of America is the official charity of Major League Baseball, reaching more than 4 million kids worldwide. Visit MLBGoBeyond.com to learn how you can help create a positive place for kids. Here's Josh Hamilton as he takes ball one. 0 for 1 tonight. He's grounded out to second. Started the night hitting .354, 24 home runs. Just .250 in the month of August with 1 home run. But he loves being at home where he hits .383 in this ballpark.
You know, I never saw Mickey Mantle play in person. I mean, you know, we've seen all of the videos and the footage and whatever, but I mean, they say that he is as close to Mickey Mantle as anything that anybody's seen in a long time.
And physically bigger than Mantle as he knocks that one foul.
I mean, he's 240 pounds. I mean, doing the interview with him before the ball game, I just muscles everywhere and just so happy for him. I mean, what a tremendous success story he's been on and off the field.
Having a little trouble with a knee recently. Some tendonitis in the knee. Took a cortisone shot in his right knee, but still leads the majors in total bases and hits. He's number 2 in slugging percentage and in extra base hits. And since June 1st, he's batting well over 400.
I mean, that's a long time. During the month of June and July, he only had 5 ball games where he didn't get a hit.
Tough part of the lineup for Vasquez, where any pitcher, Hamilton, Guerrero, and Cruz have combined for 60 homers. That one right by everybody off Posada.
You know, just like Alex Rodriguez figured out Cliff Lee, that he's getting people out with 2 strikes on that fastball in. He finally hurt him on one. He hit the double to tie it up. Clint Hurdle, and you know that the Rangers lineup this second time through have got to be looking soft with Javier Vasquez.
3-2 out in front and rolled it foul.
You knew that wasn't going to be a fastball. I mean, when on Mitch Moreland, who doesn't have a week in the big leagues, he throws a 3-2 hook to him with 2 outs and a guy on first, you know that Josh Hamilton's not going to see a fastball. I think you got to look soft to begin with on him. If the Rangers are able to do that, they could get to him.
Again, the payoff pitch. Shot to left. Racing back Kearns. He can't get it. Short hops the wall. Back to Gardner. He races into second base, and he stops with a double.
What tremendous hand strength this man has. Just looking for that fastball out over the plate so that he doesn't pull off the off-speed pitch again. Look at him there, and then look at his hand. I mean, his body was leaning out over the plate. His legs were almost lost right there. He just throws the barrel of the bat there, and the ball ends up off the 390 mark in the opposite field. Gardner coming up with it. The Rangers with a leadoff double here and an opportunity to take the lead again.
Hamilton's 35th double. Here's Guerrero. Hot shot down to get it. A-Rod to his left. Freezes the runner and throws out Guerrero. So Hamilton had to hold. Time now for SportsCenter right now. We head back to the studio and J.W. Stewart.
Dave, thanks very much. We start you off with the Twins and the White Sox. Carlos Quentin homered yesterday, homers again tonight, his 24th. If the White Sox win, they tie the Twins atop the AL Central. Melvin Mora, Rockies Mets, a grand slam, his 4th career slam and the 9th slam allowed by the Mets, most in baseball. SportsCenter after the game. Back to you guys.
JW, thank you very much. Here's Nelson Cruz with a man at second. And with a runner in scoring position, this guy's hitting .386. One of the reasons he was intentionally walked by Joe Girardi last night in the 10th inning to load the bases.
Well, a lot of times they think that right-handers have more success against Mariano than left-handers. That was another reason for that move, but there should be at least a man on third right now and 1 out or less. Vladimir on the first pitch, grounding out to the left side of the infield. That is not winning baseball.
Now Guerrero over the last 21 games is hitting about $150.
And when you're doing that in a spot like that, you might even think about bunting. You know, I mean, you've got to get that runner over to get the lead back for Cliff Lee.
Little pop-up, short center, Gardner and Cano. Cano backpedals, makes the catch. Got that glove high up over his head. He had a long way to get out there. There are 2 down.
That is the 3rd ball that he has had to run out on a pop-up and make the play. That by far was the most difficult, but because of the way the ball carries here, the outfielders have to play a lot deeper than normal. Even with the speed of Gardner, he couldn't get there. Robinson Cano was all by himself. He takes off there. Jeter's got to go to the bag. That is really a nice play.
Especially for a guy who is not feeling very well, a cold and fever last night. Now an intentional pass of Murphy, who killed the Yankees last night. He'll be put on here by Vasquez, and a pitch to Benji Molina instead.
You want to know how much the San Francisco Giants have struggled for offense? The last couple of years, a guy that hit cleanup a lot for them is who the Yankees want to face right now.
Although Molina is maybe the most unlikely Texas Ranger to hit for the cycle of the 5 who have done it in their franchise history back on July 16th at Fenway, and also belted a grand slam as part of that. Look back at that. He is a slow-footed catcher for sure, but a grand slam really helped him. The 8th player in Major League Baseball history to have a grand slam as part of the cycle. The last one was the triple. It needed a couple of lucky bounces.
There had to be a couple of people fall down.
He eventually did get to third. Quite a night for Benji. Well, he has runners at first and second. 2 men out. Near the bottom of the 4th inning. We're tied up 1-1. He can untie it right now with a single. That would bring in Hamilton. But he swings and fouls it away for strike 1.
Well, he did the same thing there that Vladimir did. You got to figure it out. You're not seeing the fastball early in the count. He might try to sneak one by you later on in the count, but everything that Vasquez is doing right now has some rotation on it.
Hamilton at second. Murphy, who just took the intentional walk, is on at first. And Molina way out in front. That pitch spinning in at 68 miles an hour.
Josh Hamilton figured it out. He fouled off a 3-2 pitch and forced him to throw a fastball to get a hit on him. You've got to stay back here.
Now, Vasquez has been a strikeout guy in his career. Randy Johnson tallied the most strikeouts from 1998 until his retirement last season. Second on that list since '98 is Javier Vasquez.
Well, he's had over 200 the last 3 years.
Nearly 2,400 in his career. That's down and away. And that time Molina did not chase.
It's a battle right now for Vasquez. This is a guy that, I mean, he can touch 93, 94 when his arm strength is there. It hasn't been there the last couple of starts. He's out there competing right now. And there's different ways to do it.
Now, what he's going through right now, the dead arm phase, did you battle that?
Oh, absolutely. And as you get older, I mean, he's 34 years of age. The velocity's not gone yet for him. But you have to make adjustments.
Another soft one away. So what do you do if you don't have a decent fastball, and really he doesn't have that, throwing 87, 88? What do you do?
You know it coming out of the bullpen. I mean, sometimes it just feels like you've got shoulder pads on and you're just not able to get out there. From time to time, once you get deeper into the ball game, that velocity might improve. But right now, he has got to be able to spin it or locate a changeup.
Molina started the night just a .217 hitter, and that one drifts away. These radar gun readings, you're Joe Girardi. You're looking at these and going, holy cow, 68, 69 miles an hour. Granted, he's throwing breaking balls and off-speed stuff, but I mean, they almost look like knuckleballs.
I'll tell you what, I respect the fact that he's out there taking his turn. You know how some people go on the DL because of shoulder fatigue? What in the world is that?
Hamilton and Murphy leading from second and first. Tie game at 1. Runners will be off to the races. There they go, and that is outside. He missed with that to walk him. And the bases are loaded for Texas and Mitch Moreland.
Now you get a little bit concerned if you're Joe Girardi here after the intentional pass. You know, you thought you put him in a spot where he could get out of the inning easily. He ran the count 0-2, and then he forgot to throw a third strike, missing on 4 consecutive pitches. That brings pitching coach Dave Island out for a conference.
Well, this sets up the most important at bat for the youngster Mitch Moreland in his brief major league career. After spending the entire season at AAA at Oklahoma City, called up at the end of July.
Remember when he throws him on that 3-2 curveball, just a little get-over pitch that took advantage of a guy without a lot of experience. I'd be sitting on that breaking ball right now, and if it's middle in, it might be his first Grand Slam homer.
First one to Moreland. He swings, high ground ball off the glove of Berkman. It rolls into right. 1 run in. Here comes Murphy. He scores. 2 runs in. Texas on top 3-1, and Mitch Moreland comes through in the clutch. Berkman could not make the stop, and it's a 2-run single to open up the lead.
Well, you know the Yankees are wondering about Mark Teixeira and would he have been able to make that play or not, but a lot of credit has to go to the young Texas Ranger first baseman. He looked for an off-speed pitch. He wasn't elevated, but he went down and got it. He hit it hard. And not only does Josh Hamilton score, but the intentional walk comes around to touch home.
Guzman here 0 for 1 with a ground ball to the right side. But the second and third RBIs for Moreland.
Moreland was a 17th round draft pick in 07, but he was out of Mississippi State. You know that's a good program there.
Well, Hamilton, who had been out there all night after that double. And then Guerrero grounded out and Cruz popped up. It looked like that chance would be squandered. Murphy intentionally passed, though. Molina worked a really good at bat to load up the bases with ball 4. And then Moreland comes up and knocks the single off the diving Berkman.
You got to just throw a fastball away for a strike here. A base hit is not going to score Molina from second.
The 2-1, slap the other way foul.
I'll come right back with that. Oh, he's going to throw a hook because that's really all he's got confidence in. But I wouldn't mess with going 3-2. Molina could score on a 3-2 count with 2 outs if you went to that position on a base hit. Throw another fastball away and hopes that you hit a ground ball to second, to shortstop or third, and get out of this inning.
Molina and Moreland on the bases. It's a high pop-up behind second. Again, Cano has to go out. Here comes Gardner, and he'll make the play down on a knee. Boy, Cano has been so busy. Moreland got busy with the bat. A 2-run single to drive in Hamilton and Murphy. So the 24-year-old and the 2009 Rangers minor league player of the year making a contribution in a big series against the Yankees. It is 3-1 Texas after 4.
Throw your hands up, pinch your fist with pride. Hold your head high, no need to hide. EVOLVE, come on, get inside, come on, ride with me. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve. You gotta evolve. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve.
What looked like the end.
He's never followed through with one thing in his life.
Was just the beginning.
I decided to open up my own shop. They could never in a million years build a bike like we can.
Old grudges, new series. American Chopper, Senior versus Junior. Premieres tomorrow at 9. When baseball's biggest stars come out,
Way back, and it is gone.
they shine brightest on MLB Network. With over 100 live games this season.
What a catch!
And live look-ins to all the games on MLB Tonight.
And there it goes!
MLB Network. The sky is the limit. Find your channel number at MLBnetwork.com.
Well, the fans here in Texas doing what they can to stay cool during this heat wave. A couple of runs there really helped. A 3-1 Ranger lead. On to the 5th inning. And Cliff Lee again back in front, this time by 2. And Austin Kearns, who struck out looking in the 2nd inning, will lead off the inning for New York. Then it's Berkman and Gardner, bottom 3rd of the Yankee order. And again, they have to go without Mark Teixeira, who is back home in the New York area with his wife Lee and the newborn baby son.
And everything went well, right?
Everything went great.
Awesome. Congratulations.
And William doing tremendously well, and so is Lee, from what we understand. And Mark will be rejoining the Yankees tomorrow in Kansas City.
I know 2 people that were real happy for Mark Teixeira. That's C.J. Wilson and Cliff Lee. Not having to face him during this series.
Yeah, in fact, he hits Lee to the tune of 370. So that's a miss that Lee certainly didn't mind at all.
You know, and you got to wonder, too. You know, a lot of people in that dugout are that ground ball by Moreland. If the Gold Glover Mark Teixeira might have come up with that and kept the score tied.
Chopper but foul off 3rd by Kearns, who's homered 8 times on the season.
Remember when he came up with the Cincinnati Reds?
I do.
#1 pick back in '98. I mean, this was going to be all everything. And then just continued to get injured. I mean, he just was never able to put together a full season and has kind of become a 4th outfielder platoon type guy.
7th overall pick in '98 by Cincinnati. Takes one up and away for a ball.
Gives Joe Girardi a luxury from time to time of sitting Curtis Granderson against a tough left-handed pitcher.
Lee with a 2-2. Again, the Yankees have lost 2 consecutive games. They're the only club in the majors not to be swept in a series of 3 games or longer. But they have dropped 6 out of 9. Tampa Bay lost earlier today to the Tigers. So the Yankee lead in the division is 1. A cut and a miss, and Kearns goes down for the 2nd time on strikes.
Let's go back and take a look at the early success for Cliff Lee and the command of that fastball in. Swisher goes down swinging. Timms faces that strike three looking. You saw Alex Rodriguez get a piece of one on the inside corner. Take a look at this. The second time up on a 3-2 count. It was almost like Alex knew what was coming. He was able to get to Cliff Lee for that double and drive in the only run of the night for New York.
6 strikeouts. So he has 132 strikeouts on the season. He's only walked 9 men. He hardly ever goes to a 3-ball count. On a rope, but foul by Berkman. He was a little quick on that pitch. He is 0 for 1 with a comebacker. Berkman in his career has hit 326 home runs. Of course, he's a switch hitter. So he's number 5 all time among switch batters in home runs.
I think he was like 299 career to start this season.
High fly, left center, not deep, racing in Hamilton. He'll get there. 2 up and 2 down. Let's join J.W. Stewart in the studio for a Baseball Tonight in-game update.
Dave, thanks very much. We take you to Milwaukee for the Brewers and D-backs, and look at what Arizona did in the 4th inning. Adam LaRoche, Miguel Montero, Mark Reynolds, and Stephen Drew. They hit 4 straight home runs. That ties a Major League record. Last done by the White Sox against the Royals in August of 2008. All the home runs, by the way, coming off Dave Bush. Back to you guys in Arlington.
Okay, JW, thank you very much. A free swinging outfit there, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Wow.
Here's Brett Gardner, 0 for 1. He's fly to right. Base is empty for him as he takes a strike. Gardner just 2 out of 27 in August. His batting average has taken a hit down to 279.
I was talking with Kevin Long and Joe Girardi about that, and they said it seems like he's constantly 0-2.
As he is now.
I mean, you know, it's funny, those guys that see him day in, day out, I mean, they know what's going on. I mean, all you got to do is ask, and if they're honest with you, you'll find out the reason. I mean, the league has made an adjustment to Gardner. He hit 300 for a long time. He was real patient, seeing a lot of pitches. He has got to readjust to that. But now with 2 strikes, there's just so many ways to go to get you out.
And Lee makes it fast. 92 with a fastball. And Gardner's issues continue. 7 strikeouts for Cliff Lee. He fans 2 in this inning. He struck out 2 in the 1st inning. He struck out 2 in the 2nd inning. And he has a 3-1 lead midway through on a Wednesday.
ESPN Fantasy Football. Sign up for free at ESPN.com.
It started with 2 simple words. And now it's time to join in. Announcing the Claim Your Mazda Summer Sales Event. Enjoy the high resale value of Mazda 3, Mazda 6, the driver's alternative to Camry and Accord, or the 7-passenger Mazda CX-9. All available with 0% APR financing for 60 months, plus no monthly payments until November 2010. So why compromise? Claim your Mazda. Offer ends August 31st.
If your man used Old Spice instead of lady-scented body washes, he could smell like he took you on more of these while wearing this. Or this. But probably this. All over this.
This summer,
There's us and there's 20,000 kids.
what's happening on Lake Victoria is nothing compared to what's happening
Something bit me.
beneath it.
Oh my God.
On August 20th,
How are we going to stop them?
3D
They're coming!
shows its teeth.
There's something in the wall!
Piranha.
They're not fully developed. They're the babies.
This film's not yet rated.
It's me, the Lime. Welcome to the Taco Bell Cantina Taco. Marinated steak, cilantro, and me, your host to a new taco experience. And that deserves respect. The whole new taco awaits from Taco Bell.
I say, hey, I'll be gone today, but I'll be back on around the way. Seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you.
Everybody has been up on their feet singing Deep in the Heart of Texas here. It is 3-1. The Rangers, the first place Texas Rangers, have stolen the headlines, at least at this point, from the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys play in their Taj Mahal right across the way as Andrus swings at the first one, loops it toward right. Swisher won't get it. It drops in for a base hit. And the speedy Andrus with 27 stolen bases is on. Hey, the Little League World Series continues. ESPN 2 Thursday, a doubleheader first at 11 a.m. Des Moines, Iowa takes on Rapid City, South Dakota. That's in the Midwest Regional Semifinal. Then at 5, Boise, Idaho facing Beaverton, Oregon in the Northwest Regional Semi. The Little League World Series presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, reduced sugar on ESPN 2 Thursday.
I watched that Little League World Series all day today.
You watch more baseball than anybody I have ever met.
I'll tell you what, that's good baseball. Those kids, there's some players, you can tell right away that some of them got a chance at 10.
You can't tell at 10, can you?
No, just you were the one that did promo.
Well, I read the promo, but
I did watch it.
And I know what you're saying.
A couple of great games. I mean, 2 of them were pulled out right at the end.
I know it.
Then they bring in these kids where they project it to how hard they're throwing. And they're throwing like 100. And I mean, it looks like it.
Andrus going to be held very close here by Vasquez.
Well, Joe Girardi has got to guess right. I mean, he's got one shot at a pitch out, and he's got to be right. Or I just don't think the combination of Javier and Jorge behind home plate are going to be able to get Andrus.
Michael Young, the batter, dangerous. He's homered tonight. He tags that one, a line shot. That settles down for a base hit. Andrus easily around second. He's heading into third. Young is 2 for 3 tonight, and they're on the corners.
That's what speed does for you. Vasquez knows that if he throws a breaking ball, Jorge's got no chance. So he tries to sneak a fastball by Michael Young. You're not going to do that. I mean, he knows the situation. He knows what's going on. Loves having that kid in front of him there. You take a look. I mean, both of the hits in this inning on the first pitch, they're sitting on that fastball. They know the only thing he really has had success with is the breaking ball. And now the worst case scenario for the Yankees and Javier Vasquez.
And you mentioned he loves having Andrus in front of him, loves having this guy behind him. Hamilton has doubled and grounded out. He scored a run. And fouls that one away for strike one. He's hitting .377 with men in scoring position coming into the ball game.
Josh was talking earlier about his approach now. It's not about home run derby and seeing how far I can hit it and putting on a show. It's about seeing where the pitch is located and hitting it to where it's supposed to be hit to. Putting the barrel of the bat on the ball.
A wave and a miss on a 75-mile-an-hour offering there from Vasquez. Third in the American League in that category. Well, Vladimir Guerrero is .336 with men in scoring position, and Nelson Cruz is .386. And those are your 3, 4, and 5 hitters in this Texas lineup.
This is a big pitch in this ball game right here.
Wide foul out of play to the left. Sergio Mitre is now throwing in the bullpen for the Yankees.
I mean, this game can turn real quick for both teams. One mistake from Vasquez, and all of a sudden he can find himself down 6-1. One good pitch picking up a strikeout here. We know that Vladimir's not running real well right now. He's not swinging the bat well. You could get him to hit into double play and get out of this. Huge.
Inside, and remember who's on the mound for Texas.
It might be over already.
Rangers on top 3-1. Back-to-back hits to start the inning by Andrus and Young. The 1-2. Hot shot that almost got both of those guys. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Andrus is in. Young heading to third. He stops there. Hamilton scalds another double. It almost nailed Young, almost got Berkman too.
I can only imagine what people thought when they saw Mickey Mantle. How hard he could hit a baseball.
and just how much fun it was to watch him do things on a baseball field that just nobody else can do. People don't hit the ball that hard. And then take a look at this. I mean, all of a sudden, he's thinking 3. Look at those strides and how quickly he got to second base. He could have easily got to third here if Michael Young hadn't had to do a dance to get out of the way of the ball. He's not able to score on that. But, boy, when you watch Hamilton run those bases, it's just, I mean, I know these are all professional athletes here, but they just, everything he does is just a little bit better than most.
I keep thinking when he does something like that and how fast he gets down to second. He is 6'4", about 238 pounds. And it just doesn't make sense.
That's a big, big body to be moving around like that.
Well, the infield is in for Vladimir Guerrero. Again, nobody out. 3 consecutive hits as he lays off ball 1. He's popped up and grounded out 0 for 2. This is a guy who needs a big hit right now. He was driven in 86 runs on the season. He is in a pretty deep slump. Yankees tug everybody in. Young at third, Hamilton at second. They hope he's big bad Vlad right here. Old chopper. The pitcher freezes the runner. Vasquez throws a changeup to first, but gets the out. Runners had to hold, and again, Guerrero does not come through.
Tell you what, Ron Washington, I know he said, I'm going to ride that horse as long as I can. He's gotten us to this point, but he may have to think about making a move to try to get the legs and the bat speed back for Vladimir Guerrero. He just looks old right now, and he's not productive. I mean, in a spot like that, they're giving you an RBI, and he wasn't able to pick it up. I think you got to rest that guy and hope that he gets his body back, and you know what, can make a charge in September.
Well, he had 4 outstanding months, but he's not outstanding right now. Here's Cruz. High chop to third. Runner coming home, and now A-Rod has Young in a rundown. Posada chasing him back to third. Jeter snaps the tag and didn't get him. He's safe. Everybody's safe. Young got back somehow, and the bases are loaded.
I tell you who messed his play up was Alex Rodriguez. After he made the throw to Posada, he has got to get out of the way so that Derek Jeter can come off the bag, come down the line, and get the throw in time to make the tag. Take a look at it. He runs at him a little bit. All right, now give it up. Now get out of the way. But look at what he does. By staying in the baseline, Jeter had to stay on the bag, and that gave Michael Young a chance to get back. Jorge right there didn't know who to throw it to, and all of a sudden he throws it to Jeter. That's too late, and what should have been a big out wasn't.
Well, here's David Murphy, who took the star turn last night. A look again. Jeter getting the tag down. No question, Young got in there.
What a great call by Mike Estabrook.
Murphy has been intentionally walked. He's also popped up to second. With the game-winning hit off Rivera last night. Into the dirt, Posada there. You don't think Posada gave up the ball too late there?
Oh, no question he did, but I thought Alex was the one that was in his way. If Alex got out of the way, then Jeter comes down the line. You never take that throw on the bag, but because Alex stayed in the line, Jeter didn't have any place to go because of that. I mean, sure, Jorge could have given it up a little bit earlier, but that's a play that those two guys should have made.
And now the Yankees in deep trouble. 1 out, bases jammed, and Murphy takes a ball. So 3 hits in the inning and a botched rundown, and it could blow up right now on the Yankees here in Texas. There's plenty of experience among the players on that rundown defensively for the Yankees. They just didn't execute it. Up the middle, base hit. Young is in. Here comes Hamilton churning around. He scores as the throw comes into second. 2 runs in. 6-1 Texas.
There are a lot of people in this ballpark and probably in the state of Texas right now that are starting to believe the expectations for this ball club have gone up a lot ever since they were able to make the acquisition of Cliff Lee. Murphy's been swinging the hottest bat in baseball the last 2 weeks. He carried him on the road trip to a couple of wins. He had the home run last night off Burnett. He had the game winner off Rivera, and he adds to that here.
That's it for Vasquez. 3 runs on the board in this inning against the right-hander. They go to the bullpen, 6-1 Rangers.
It's like a blast of hydration to your face. New Schick Hydro, with water-activated gel that hydrates your skin as you shave and lasts up to twice as long as ordinary strips, while 5 blades with skin guards smooth the skin to reduce irritation. It's the best shave for your skin. The new Schick Hydro. Free your skin.
It was just gigantic.
It was humongous. Enormous, huge bill.
That's actually when we switched to Vonage.
The service is great. I don't see any difference with the call quality. Or I can just pick up the phone, call.
As many family members as I want. Ugh, why did I not do this earlier? I'm Laura Pruden, and this was my last bill
before I switched to Vonage.
Sign up for Vonage World and get your first month of service free with unlimited domestic and international calls. Go to Vonage.com or call now.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, yeah. Mike, I got a little constructive criticism for you. There's one thing I don't like about your commercials.
This is gonna be good.
Everybody's always showing you their underwear. It's not realistic. Now, me, I just got these. Comfort Flex waistband. Doesn't pinch, doesn't bind, nothing, man. I can get so low in these. Look at this. Look at this movement. I'm like a ballerina in these things. If I could take you, I bet, in these. I bet I could take you and...
The Comfort Flex waistband. Won't pinch, won't bind. New from Hanes.
Or to re-record your personal greeting, press 2.
Hey, this is the Freak. I'm not on my desk right now. No. Hey, this is the Franchise. Franchise? It's Arian. Hey, this is the Freaky Franchise here. Big time Timmy Jim's office here. No one even calls me that. Hi, this is Tim Lincecum. If you leave your name, number, and a short message, I'll be sure to get...
Hey, big time Timmy Jim, what's up?
If you're unhappy with your greeting.
Sergio Mitre, the right-hander, comes out of the Yankee bullpen, still not out of difficulty. First and second, and Molina takes up high for a ball.
Take a look at the numbers for Sergio Mitre, 29-year-old right-hander. Started a couple of games for the Yankees last year, kind of in that same role this year as the swing guy for Joe Girardi.
Molina tonight is flying to right and taking ball 4. There's Cruz and Murphy on, and swings and lifts a high fly, lazily hit to right. And Swisher underneath to put that away. Under tags, here's the throw to third, and he's going to be out. Cruz trying to pick up third base, and a great throw there by Swisher to cut him down. That literally undressed him. So Cruz makes the last out of the inning at third base. And yet Texas winds up with a big inning. They scored 3 times. The rundown was botched, and that was a huge play as Young got back in. He would eventually score. And Texas has opened up the lead on the Murphy 2-run single, 6-1 at the end of 5.
It's the biggest event of the summer. SummerSlam. After months of terrorizing WWE, will the Nexus finally meet its match?
Back in Texas, it's Wednesday Night Baseball presented by Captain Morgan. Rick Sutcliffe and Dave O'Brien with you, and the Rangers certainly showing they are for real. They won last night in 10. They have hopped on the Yankees 6-1 as we go to the 6th inning. Derek Jeter trying to lead them back into it against Cliff Lee. Jeter has singled and grounded out to short tonight. He's 1 for 2. And he is 13 out of 33 in his career against Lee. So he hits him very well.
Well, in that game 1 of the World Series, Cliff Lee threw that complete game 6 hitter. Jeter had 3.
Slicing deep into the corner on the move. Cruz. Back he goes. Slides and cannot get it. Fair ball. It's going to roll to the warning track. Jeter's heading into third. And he'll get there standing up with a triple. Cruz would have made a spectacular play on that. But Jeter winds up with his second hit of the ball game.
I think the wall had a lot to do with that. We're seeing the range of Nelson Cruz. We saw him go into the gap almost to the 407 sign in right center to run down a ball. Here he gets there in plenty of time, but he has to go into the slide to protect himself. And I think it kind of looked like he just overslid that ball. It got past him, and an easy triple for Derek Jeter.
So Swisher will try and pick him up now. Nick Swisher is struck out and grounded out.
Boy, now you go back to that botched rundown, Greg. And you got Alex Rodriguez, Jorge Posada, and Derek Jeter. I mean, somebody ought to be able to figure out that rundown. They get that thing. They get out of that inning. Swisher, who's homered twice already this year off Cliff Lee, would have been the tie-in run.
So 22. He fouls that one off his foot for strike one. And a .364 career average against him coming into tonight.
Kind of interesting. 22 homers. He got 19 from the left side. So 2 of the 3 have come against the guy on the mound right now.
The one thing Swisher has done this year is figured out the new Yankee Stadium is a bandbox. And after only hitting a handful of home runs there last year, it's at 11 at Yankee Stadium this year. He takes one low. Last season at Yankee Stadium made a total of 8.
It's kind of like a house that just doesn't have much of a side yard, but it has a really big backyard. There's a lot of room in dead center at Yankee Stadium, nowhere else.
In for a called strike. Well, save for 3 with the White Sox, the Yankees largely face struggling teams the rest of this month. They've got the Royals next, the Tigers, the Mariners, the Jays, and the A's, either struggling or just about out of the race. The Yankees are going to have a very tough September, though, including another visit to Arlington for 3 and 7 with the Rays, 6 with the Red Sox, including a trip to Fenway to finish the regular season. Brian Cashman has said we are in a cage match. He was talking about the Rays and the Red Sox, who he says are not going away.
I tell you, we both have to applaud the Red Sox for what they've done with all of the injuries, more so than normal. Everybody gets, you got some ups and downs, and you play well at sometimes, poorly at some others.
That one gets by Molina. Here comes Jeter. He's in to score on the wild pitch. And the Yankees get another run. It is 6-2 Texas.
This is all Benji Molina right here. I guarantee you this ball would not have gotten by him years ago, nor would it have gotten by either one of his brothers. I mean, that's just flat out not being quick. You know what's coming. It's a slow breaking ball. You have got to get that big body in front of that with a man on third base. That just shoots the confidence of a pitcher in a situation like that.
Maybe a little tired on a hot night. Swing and a miss. Swisher chasing, and down he goes. He strikes out for the second time tonight.
Let's talk about Cliff Lee and why he's been so successful and why he's able to go 8 innings every time out. Take a look at the follow through that he's got. Look at the bend from the upper half and look at the parachute that he creates for that arm. Your arm is just like a dragster. When it hits the finish line, when you release that baseball, what happens to a dragster? That parachute has to come out. You have to bend at the waist to give that arm room to slow down. Not everybody does that, and it creates a lot of problems for people. I kind of think of Kerry Wood, who was just added to the New York Yankees bullpen. I mean, his chest was almost like a brick wall. There wasn't a lot of rotation up top as we look at Kerry there, and we know that was one of the best dragsters in the history of baseball, but he just couldn't stay healthy.
That frisbee breaking ball, that's a foul ball. Nice stab there by Young in foul ground. 8 Ks for Lee. He's gotten Thames once.
Youngsters, just take a look at the follow through of Cliff Lee and realize if you use those big muscles around the core of your body, it takes a lot of pressure off those little muscles that are in your elbow and your arm. You give that dragster time to slow down, it gives you a chance to run that dragster a lot more often.
Thames is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. 6-2 Texas in the 6th inning. And again, no walks from Cliff Lee. It's a headline if he does issue ball 4. He's done it 9 times all year. He's gone at least 6 innings and walked 2 or fewer batters in every one of his starts this season. Every one of the 19. And if he gets 2 more outs without walking 2 batters in this inning, he'll have made it 20 for 20. In 1968, Juan Marichal put up 23 consecutive starts like that. In an 0-2, Curt Schilling opened the season with 21 of them. 6 innings or more, 2 walks or less.
That's pretty good company to be in, isn't it?
Indeed. He got him. He struck him out looking, and there's number 9. And most of the strikeouts tonight have been caught looking, 6 of them. When we're talking about the strikeout to walk ratio, and Cliff Lee entering tonight, that's the best since 1900. That's the pace he's on. Look at Brett Saberhagen in 1994.
2 Cy Young Awards for Saberhagen.
And Kurt Schilling overpowering for Arizona in 02. Just didn't walk anybody. And Pedro, who had that spectacular decade through the 1990s. And into 2000. Here's A-Rod knocking that one foul at the plate. He's driven in a run with a double. And he's also hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice.
You know, it's really amazing to think, you know, just 3 years ago, Cliff Lee was sent to the minor leagues. People wondered about him. They didn't know whether he was going to be able to make it back to the big leagues or not.
What's the number one thing he did to change that?
Command. Just being aggressive in the strike zone with good strikes.
So until that point, he was kind of a nibbler.
Didn't have a lot of confidence in himself. And you know what? A lot of people tell me that he completely reworked his workout routine. Jamie Reed, the outstanding trainer for the Rangers, was talking about getting back off that long West Coast road trip on that off day on Monday. Everybody else went to their family. Jamie was at the ballpark watching Cliff Lee go through a 3-hour workout routine to be prepared for his start. Pretty easy to see why Nolan Ryan would want to make that trade, huh? You got to give up a lot of guys in your minor league system, not knowing if you're going to be able to keep him or not. Yeah, you know what? The tone that he set, the way the other pitchers see how he prepares, whether he stays here or not, will help.
Cut on and miss. Down he goes. Lee strikes out the side. Well, the Rangers' first man really loves it. It's ironic, as great as his command is, he brought in a run with a wild pitch in that inning. 6-2 Texas. That's Big D. That's Dallas. And here we are in Arlington in the Metroplex. 6-2. Texas with the lead over the New York Yankees. The big inning so far for the Rangers included a big hit from this young man, Mitch Moreland, a 2-run single in the 4th. And they got a pair of runs, then scored 3 times in the 5th to knock Javier Vazquez, the Yankee starter, out of the ball game on 6 earned runs, 8 hits. Moreland 1 for 2. He'll be followed by Guzman and then Andrus. That's 8-9-1 for the Rangers. They beat Joe Girardi's team in 10 innings last night. Trying to send the Yankees to their 3rd consecutive defeat. This is just a 2-game series. Socked in the air, but foul off to the left.
You know, we think back to the 96, 98, 99 when the Rangers got into the postseason, how long it's been. They've not been back since. I truly think they needed a belief system, something to honestly believe in, that it was going to be there. And with, you know, the auction and everything, the sale of the club finally being over and Nolan Ryan being in charge, there's going to be a lot of people want to come here and play.
Another one loop foul by Moreland. Yeah, he has restored confidence in baseball here, and obviously it's the Cowboys' town. They had 21,000 at the Cowboys scrimmage yesterday, while they were drawing almost 47,000 here. But Nolan Ryan has certainly restored a confidence and a trust in baseball here.
I've heard a lot of the players talk about it being like a race. You know how it is when you're running a race, and I never won very many of those myself, but and all of a sudden you see your opponent and you see him start to fall behind, and you just got that feeling that it's over with. The conditioning program that Nolan has implemented here, particularly for the starting rotation, so that these guys go deeper in the ball game.
In this heat, foul tipped into the mid, and Posada hangs on. 1 man gone. Let's get it back to J.W. Stewart in the studio for Baseball Tonight Game Update.
Dave, thanks very much. Orioles and Indians. Brad Bergeson went the distance. 2nd complete game of his career against Shin-Soo Choo to fly out to end it. The O's win 3-1. How about our buddy Buck Showalter? 8-1 as Orioles manager. Sports Center after you guys are done in Texas.
Well, he's feasting, and of course it's the Orioles, and they have been a cellar dweller all season long. They're feasting on a very weak schedule right now. Gardner there to make the catch. In fact, the Orioles have the toughest schedule in baseball the rest of the way. After they get done with the Indians, I believe it really kicks in. 2 down. And that'll be the real test for Buck. But boy, what a great job early on for Buck Showalter.
Buck Showalter did a nice job when he was here, and of course went to Arizona, had even more success there. He'll improve things. You just wonder how much they're going to be able to do there in Baltimore because of the American League East.
Here's Andrus. He's gone 1 for 3 with a base hit and a run scored. And a pitch into the dirt to the talented young shortstop, just 21 years old, and the first-time All-Star this year. Nobody on base. 6-2 Rangers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And he'll look at a strike from Mitre.
I'll tell you who else has turned things around here, and that's been the general manager, John Daniels. He traded Mark Teixeira to Atlanta. Everybody thought he was an idiot. He acquired a kid in A-ball that was hitting like 200. The kid is at home plate right now in Elvis Andrus. You got an all-star shortstop at 21. Oh, yeah, he also got a guy named Neftali Feliz that if he comes in tonight, if he's needed for a save.
What a treat.
Looks like he's playing catch at 100 miles an hour.
I was about to say a treat unless you have to swing the bat against it. Throwing 100 and 100 plus. And the man in the owner's box knows exactly what that feels like. The great Nolan Ryan, who threw 7 no-hitters. Fly into left field, and Kearns there. And Mitre restores some order for the New York Yankees. He gets them 1-2-3. We have wrapped up 6 here in Texas, and the Rangers are up by 4.
It's the biggest event of the summer. SummerSlam. After months of terrorizing WWE, will the Nexus finally meet its match in a blockbuster 7-on-7 showdown against Team WWE, led by John Cena? Plus, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus defends the WWE Championship against the Viper Randy Orton. And Rey Mysterio challenges Kane for the World Heavyweight Championship. WWE SummerSlam, live Sunday, August 15th on DirecTV pay-per-view. Tune to channel 115 for more information.
The new Panasonic Viera Full HD 3D TV. Immerse yourself in incredible depth and clarity thanks to fast-switching phosphors and Infinite Black Panel Pro.
Panasonic Plasma is the difference.
With 3D this lifelike, can we still call it a TV? Get these 2 Blu-ray 3D discs as a bonus when you buy any Panasonic 3D HD TV.
On Wednesdays, I could do some laundry or get Pizza Hut's wings. I'm thinking wings.
Don't miss Pizza Hut's 50-cent Wing Wednesdays. Every wing is 50 cents each every Wednesday. That's every flavor. Only on Wednesdays and only at your Pizza Hut.
We all need people who will be there for us in life. People who say, we're with you no matter what. At Wachovia and Wells Fargo, we're with you when a house turns into a home.
Excuse me, Rufus.
When a passion becomes a career. When a relationship turns into a lifetime. And when all the hard work finally pays off. We're with you when you need someone to stand by you. Wachovia, Wells Fargo, and you. Together, we'll go far.
There's a place where everything is served up fresh. Come on into Outback Steakhouse and try our juicy signature sirloin, or try it with our grilled shrimp on the barbie or golden cocoa shrimp. There's also a honey Dijon chicken and sweet potato fries, starting at just $9.95. It's always fresh in the Outback.
ESPN's coverage of Major League Baseball continues Sunday night. A battle inside the NL East. It'll be the Phillies and the New York Mets. And both games are available on ESPN3.com. Great matchups coming up, Phillies and the Mets.
Tell you what, both of those teams got to start being even more concerned about the Braves. Bobby Cox's team with 3 runs last night in the 9th inning in Houston, down 2-1. You start winning games like that, OB, I mean, you know it as well as I do. That's when that magic starts to, you start believing in it.
LeFleur has been magical tonight with 10 strikeouts. Cano hits a high fly foul. He has not struck out tonight. He has popped up and grounded out to first. But Lee twice has struck out the side. He did in the 1st inning. He just did it in the 6th inning. He gets Cano, Posada, and Kearns here in the 7th.
Tell you what, he reminds me so much of watching Greg Maddux. And just more so than watching him, just watching the catcher's glove. And how seldom the glove ever moves. I mean, if it's on the outside corner, that's where the pitch is going to be.
So more so than a Tom Glavine. And he throws harder than Glavine.
And you know, he really throws a little bit harder than Maddux did. But you know what? He's more of a strikeout guy. And I really don't think either one of those guys ever wanted to strike anybody out. Glavine and Maddux wanted to get it over with as soon as they could. You weren't going to hit it in the air.
Oh, 0-2 on Cano. This would be strikeout number 11. But roped over first and down the line. Cano jumped on it, heading into second, looking for a double. And he will be in with a stand-up two-base hit.
Here's where you start getting a little bit concerned if you're a manager and a pitching coach. You've got an 0-2 count. You know that if you miss, you want to miss down or off the outside corner. Look at where the glove was at there. And look at what happens. You start to wonder if that arm's not starting to drag a little bit. Obi, you talked about in the beginning how 10 straight starts, he's gone 8+ innings. You just wonder how long a guy can keep that pace up. Something like that is one of the first signs usually of something that could be going wrong.
And typically it's a night off of the bullpen when Lee is pitching. He's tossed 7 complete games. It leads the American League. Of course, the Yankees were hoping for that when they tried to acquire Lee, as was the story before the trade deadline. He's a free agent at the end of the year, so they can bid on his services.
We talked to John Daniels about that. We said, how come you got him and the Yankees didn't? He said, you know what? It's because of our scouting and development people. What do you mean? He goes, obviously the Mariners wanted our players more than they did anyone else's. It comes down to how we drafted, how our minor league coaches were able to develop those players, and what the Mariners thought of them.
Posada's had a tough night. He has struck out twice, each time admiring the pitch. And looks at a strike there. He's been at odds with the home plate ump Paul Emmel a little bit too. Jorge batting right-handed, has an RBI chance with Cano at second. You get a run back here if you're the Yankees. Get within 3. Put yourself back in contention here tonight, with Lee starting to get up there with his pitch count.
Rangers got to have a little bit of concern too. Francisco, their setup man, had 22 pitches last night in just 1 inning of work, and Feliz had to go 2 innings.
This will be pitch number 93 for the left-hander, cut on and missed. Still no activity in that bullpen for the Rangers. There's the closer, who typically will hit triple digits. And now Posada will step out.
Just kind of thinking about that. Last year, the Yankees led the majors with 51 comeback wins. They trailed in 7 of the 11 postseason games. They were actually behind in 4 out of the 6 World Series games.
Cut on and missed. And Posada strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. There's number 11 for Cliff Lee. Let's get back to the studio and J.W. Stewart.
Dave, thanks. Time for the 4th, 7th inning stretch. Phils and Dodgers. Brad Lidge gets Jamie Carroll to end it. It's his 15th save. The Phils take it by the final of 2-0. The Braves beat the Astros in 10, 8-2. So Atlanta still leads the Phillies in the NL East by 2.5 games. Back to you guys in Arlington.
JW, thank you very much. Austin Kearns, the batter. He has also struck out both times up going into this at bat, just as Posada had, and he just struck out for the 3rd time. And again, Lee's career high is 13 strikeouts. So he is closing in on that. Of course, he's beaten the Yankees 3 consecutive times, twice in the World Series while with Philadelphia, then 7-4 on June 29th with Seattle.
He absolutely ruined. Well, he ruined their debut, the home opener at New Yankee Stadium. When he was with Cleveland, he beat him in that ball game. And then he comes there and as a Philly and wins Game 1 of the World Series, 2 of the biggest games of the year, and he rained on their parade.
Tried to sneak that in, but missed in 91. Well, 7 of the last 8 outs recorded by Cliff Lee have been on strikeouts.
That'll help your team's fielding percentage.
Slightly.
That goes a long ways towards not making errors.
And another one of those nights where he is pouring in strike after strike. He's tops in the majors, throwing a strike 72% of the time. Roped into left field. That gets down. Cano heading into third. He'll stop there. Go quickly back into the infield. Yankees don't want to kill a rally here. Runners at first and third, and 2 hot shots, and here comes Maddox.
Yeah, they killed a rally last night when they tried to score a man on a base hit. The arm of David Murphy. He was able to make a great throw. Molina with a great tag to get Swisher. Look at there once again. I mean, the whole key to his success tonight has been his command. Not so much overpowering with velocity as it has been with location. He has missed his spots twice in this inning, and both times the ball has hit exceptionally hard. Mike Maddox coming out there just to kind of look into the eyes of Cliff Lee. And I know you want to stay out here. We've seen it. I know you're in great shape, but tell me the truth. How are you feeling? The command is not there right now. I need to know more about you.
It's amazing when you look at that pitching line, though, as Darren O'Day, the right-hander, the sidearmer, has been terrific for them in their bullpen, starts to loosen up. You look at that line, you see no walks, 11 strikeouts. And yet, what you say makes sense, that the command is a little off this inning.
And you knew right away on the 0-2 pitch to Cano that there could be problems. And I love what Mike Maddox did there. Just to reinforce his thoughts, he brought the veteran Benji Molina out there. I'm sure Cliff Lee was saying, I'm fine, I'm great, I'll get out of this. He brought Molina out there. Hey, what's going on? Do you see anything that we might be concerned about?
Well, 1 man out. They're on the corners and facing Lance Berkman. He's certainly a double play candidate. He's grounded to the pitcher and fly to center tonight, but he's also a home run possibility, something he has not done with the Yankees yet. And he takes a strike. So Berkman 0 for 2. Cano at third, Kearns at first. Yankees now with 6 hits. The Rangers have 8. This is how few opportunities the Yankees have had against Lee tonight. They've only left 2 men on base here into the 7th inning.
He'll make you earn it.
Lance Berkman back home in his native Texas, and he swings, hits a high fly to right center. Hamilton racing back, long run for Cruz as well, and falls onto the warning track, and it jumps up into the bullpen. Well, Cano is brought in to score. That winds up costing the Yankees a run. Kearns has to hold at third base. Berkman almost muscled that one out of here. And that's going to get their bullpen going out there for the Rangers.
Both Hamilton and Cruz had a long ways to go. But that ball held up in the air a long time. And I think there might have been a little lack of communication here, as if you see Josh kind of looking down at him like, do you have it? Do you have it? Because I think either one of them could have got it, and they both kind of peeled off on what would have been a great play, but a play that I think they could have made.
No question. They were both very pensive, very tentative. Well, here's Brett Gardner. He's gone 0 for 2 and a base hit here.
How about a home run? Represents the tying run.
He's hit 5 of them. Single makes it a 1-run game if Berkman can score. Really give him the right field line as he takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Cruz is way over into the alley in right center field. If Gardner knocks one down into the corner, he's going to score himself. He pulls it right down the line. 6-3 Texas. Cliff Lee is suddenly looking mortal in the 7th inning. He's allowed 3 hits, including 2 doubles. That's a strike.
We saw how long Mike Maddox stood out there. I think Mike, if he could have made the move in that spot, might have gone to the bullpen right there. But Cliff Lee talked him into letting him stay back out there, telling him that he had plenty. The glove of Benji Molina tells you the whole story. If it's staying put, then Cliff Lee doesn't need to go anywhere.
1-1. Little floater, but foul on the left field line. Derek Jeter is on deck. Only one out and 2 Yankees in scoring position.
The Yankees with 7 hits on the night. Derek Jeter, their captain, has 2 of those.
Well, the Yankees, even minus Teixeira, are not out of a game at any point. Certainly not out of this one in the 7th inning. They're making a comeback here. Big at bat here for New York. Gardner slumping. Takes one high. He's fly to right. He struck out looking, and he is 2 for 28 here in the month of August.
Tried to throw that breaking ball down and away again there. They got away from him one more time.
Oliver also up in the bullpen, a veteran left-hander, along with O'Day. Poke foul. Well, 105 pitches for the left-hander in this heat. It was 99 degrees last time we checked about an hour ago.
A lot of the players for the Rangers saying that Cliff Lee is the hardest worker they have ever seen around here. Right now is where that comes in real handy. Because when those legs start getting heavy, you're done.
4th sellout of the season here in Arlington. Gardner swings it up the middle. It almost got Lee. It's into center field for a base hit. Kearns is in. Berkman stops at third. 6-4 the score.
For some reason, he decided with a lack of command and starting to lose his stuff that he wanted to throw a fastball in. Not real sure why he had tried to do that. The success had come against Gardner by staying away. But take a look here at Molina coming inside, not able to command that fastball. Boy, he made that play in Game 1 of the World Series on a ground ball behind the back. Not able to come up with that line drive, barely able to get out of the way. But that's going to be the end of the night for Cliff Lee.
That's the first time he doesn't go at least 7 innings since the 11th of May. O'Day coming out of the bullpen. But the Yankees are on the move here. They've cut the lead to 2 in Texas.
Rangers up 6-4 over the New York Yankees here in the top of the 7th inning. Let's go back and take a look at the early success for Cliff Lee. Takes him a while to get going here. That pitch off the inside corner up there. Molina going back to the heart of the plate. But take a look at here. Look at the strikeouts and the location. All you got to do is watch the mitt of Benji Molina. He's not going to throw 100 miles an hour. It's not the best breaking ball you've ever seen. Not the best changeup in the world. But you put that combination together with the location that he's got, you can see why a lot of people think he's the best pitcher in the game right now.
So he strikes out 11, but gives it over to Darren O'Day, who's been just superb. 3-2, a 1.18 ERA in 51 appearances. And so tough to hit. The sidearmer allowing a 190 batting average.
Well, just take a look at the release point that he's got and the difficulty that Derek Jeter is going to have to deal with. But right now, the captain for the Yankees represents the go-ahead run for the team.
1st and 3rd, only 1 man out. Jeter is 2 for 3 tonight with a triple and a single. And a double fake. No one biting on that. So, of course, Lee didn't walk anybody, but by his standards, to give up 4 earned runs to this point in the game, and the men on base belong to him, that is not a good outing. O'Day comes set, and Jeter takes it a strike on the inside corner. He tugged in those hands, but Paul Emmel said it hit the corner. This is how good O'Day has been. 25 consecutive scoreless innings. That's the longest active streak in the majors.
We've had a bunch of those this year. J.J. Putz, we just had him last week, had a streak a lot like that for the Chicago White Sox. That's a huge lead at first.
That's Gardner taking it, and back in he goes.
You've got to recognize that.
Berkman at third.
You know, even though Cliff Lee won Game 5 for the Philadelphia Phillies in the World Series. There was some fatigue there. He'd given up a couple of runs through 7 and then allowed 3 straight hits in the 8th inning that knocked him out of that ball game. But by then, the Phillies had a huge lead.
One out. Gardner takes off, got a great jump. Molina's throw down, not nearly in time. Berkman holding at third base. And Gardner has it stolen. He's into scoring position. And so the tying runs are now in scoring position. Both of those the responsibility of Cliff Lee.
Derek G with a lot of stolen bases in his career. You kind of, out of the corner of your eye, you keep an eye on that base runner knowing that he might go. We could all see that Gardner had an extraordinary big lead there. Regardless if that would have been a ball or a strike, Jeter was going to take it, trying to let that tying run get into scoring position.
Gardner with his 32nd stolen base. So now a single by Jeter will tie the game here in the top of the 7th. Already 2 runs in on 4 hits in this inning for the Yankees. He thought about it, but took it outside. 2-1.
His ability to stay back on pitches, to let the ball travel, let it get deep in the zone, to get a longer look at it. That is extremely important here against this tough right-hander.
Jeter just passed Babe Ruth on the all-time hits list on Sunday, number 2874. Cut on and missed. He was late on that one, even though it was only 87 miles an hour. 2-2.
He had no idea where that pitch was. You rarely see Derek Jeter swing and miss at a pitch by that much.
Well, now this big crowd comes to life. 48,676. The 4th sellout this season in Arlington. Berkman at third, Gardner at second. Down he goes. O'Day strikes out Derek Jeter, and there are 2 gone. The Yankees have fanned 12 times tonight, Sut.
Even though he throws from the same release point down below, he saw 2 different fastballs there. The one for the second strike with a 2-seamer that had a lot of sinking action. So what does Derek Jeter do there? He kind of starts his swing below where the baseball starts out. It's a different fastball. There's no sinking action to it. And the captain strikes out with the tying runs on base.
El Oliver is coming on. Washington wants the left-hander to take on Swisher here with runners at second and third. Texas up by 2 in the 7th.
What's up, man? Keys. Stacy. Keys, girl. Billy.
Presented by Captain Morgan. And from Rangers Ballpark here in Arlington, Texas, I'm Dave O'Brien alongside Rick Sutcliffe. The New York Yankees have pulled to within a base hit from tying it. Nick Swisher up against Darren Oliver, the 39-year-old left-hander whose career started here with the Rangers back in 1993.
Well, in 1996, he started Game 3 for the Rangers against these New York Yankees. Pitched very well, gave up 2 runs in the 9th inning to lose that ball game late, but he has reinvented himself as one of the best left-handed setup men in the game. Here he is in another tough spot.
Washington wants Swisher to hit right-handed, where he bats .280, .304 from the other side, and 19 home runs from the other side. Tried to hold up, but he went. That's strike 1. Swisher in the ball game is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice and rolled out to short. They turn him around to bad righty.
You know what's interesting, though, is another set of numbers there. He strikes out a lot more than he walks from the left side and walks more than he strikes out from this side. So you can get caught either way as a manager here.
And he has driven in 67 runs. Skidding a little bit right now. He had a cold homestand for Joe Girardi. Went 7 for 30 and hitless tonight. It's inside for a ball. Marcus Thames would hit next.
Kind of different for me here to, look at Joe Girardi, and his team coming into play tonight was only up a half game. And then you look at Ronnie Washington, and Washington's team was up 8 games coming into play.
Got a piece of it, trickled it foul.
I mean, nobody taking anything for granted right now. There's a lot of baseball left, but it's amazing. Leaving this ballpark last night, you would have thought they won Game 1 of the World Series. This crowd was so excited. We've got another good ball game tonight.
It sure has turned into that. It was 6-1 with Cliff Lee on the mound. He is now departed for the bench, and it's 6-4.
One cool customer out there on the mound. Hasn't pitched well as of late.
Way down and missed. He struck him out. He pitches great right here. And strikes out Nick Swisher, fans, for the 3rd time tonight. So the Yankees get back in it. Lee is out of the ball game. New York scoring 2 times on 4 hits. Cliff Lee delighted with the work by the bullpen. O'Day and Oliver come through in the clutch. Yankees strand 2.
The reality of fantasy. No one likes a premature celebrator. With free live scoring from ESPN Fantasy Football, you'll know when it's safe to cheer or when it's safe to pout. Sign up for free at ESPN.com.
Can't believe they left him in, right? Totally.
Wow, this is turning into a classic on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
Waking up with morning pain can drain the energy right out of you. Fight it with new Bayer AM. It combines extra strength Bayer aspirin to treat pain, plus an alertness aid to help you get off to a running start. Try Bayer AM, the morning pain reliever.
Everyone deserves to be safe. That's why every new Toyota comes with a Star Safety System, standard. It's a combination of 5 accident avoidance technologies.
The Star Safety System is something that's standard on 100% of Toyota vehicles. We always think of safety, even in the concept design of our vehicles.
The Star Safety System, standard. Because we know there's nothing more important to you than your safety. All our new safety features are at toyota.com/safety.
Pizza photo shoots, they're insane. They do all kinds of weird stuff. But at Domino's, we're making a change. Why don't we just take the pizza right out of the oven and take a picture of it?
We want you to be our photographer. Order 2 mediums with 2 toppings for $5.99 each and send us your pictures.
Pizza this good stands on its own.
It was just gigantic.
It was humongous. Enormous, huge bill.
That's actually when we switched to Vonage.
The service is great. I don't see any difference with the call quality. Or I can just pick up the phone, call
As many family members as I want. Ugh, why did I not do this earlier? I'm Laura Pruden, and this was my last bill
before I switched to Vonage.
Sign up for Vonage World and get your first month of service free with unlimited domestic and international calls. Go to Vonage.com or call now.
MLB.tv is the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer. For more details, visit MLB.tv, where baseball is always on. And baseball on tonight from Arlington, Texas. Rick Sutcliffe, Dave O'Brien with you on a Wednesday night. And Kerry Wood taking to the mound here. He becomes the 3rd Yankee pitcher. Javier Vazquez, the starter, lasted only 4 1/3. Gave up 6 earned on 8 hits. And here's Michael Young, who's had a big hand in it tonight to lead Texas to the 6-4 lead. He's homered and singled.
Talked to Joe Girardi earlier today about Kerry Wood. He said he's throwing real well. He looks healthy, and you know what, just needs to kind of get his rhythm back.
Poked in the air but fouled on a right field line. Well, in 4 appearances since they acquired him from Cleveland, he's allowed 4 hits and 1 earned run in 4 1/3.
Command's been off a little bit. He's always going to strike out more than a guy per inning. A lot of people remember Kerry as a starting pitcher with the Cubs, striking out 20 guys early in his career. Converted into a closer with a lot of success there.
Big swing and a miss by Young as he came up empty. Wood looks like he's about 16 years old now, doesn't he? With a clean-shaven look.
Probably lost 25 pounds. Not near as big as he was when he was a starting pitcher. Still throws extremely hard.
He's now 33 years old.
Probably looks like a lot like he did when he was in high school here in Texas throwing.
Fouled back by Michael Young. Michael Young's home run in the 1st inning off of Vazquez. struck the foul pole down the right field line. There was no argument on the play. You can see it clearly glancing off the foul pole. And the first base ump Bill Hahn got a very good look. That was Cruz jumping as it glanced away, but strikes the pole. It's gone. That made it 1-0. It's another one that way, deep to right. But Swisher back to make the catch. So Swisher leaping up against the wall previously. And let's get it back to the studio and J.W. Stewart.
Dave, thanks very much. Time for the Ford 7th inning stretch from earlier this afternoon. The Cardinals and Reds. Bases loaded in the 5th for Colby Rasmus. And this is how he celebrates his 24th birthday. His first career grand slam. Cards sweep the Reds and lead Cincy by 1 game in the NL Central. Baseball tonight over on ESPN2. Back to you guys.
JW, thank you very much. And no brawl in them. No fisticuffs. Nobody getting pushed up against the screen behind home plate.
That was a good series. I mean, it wasn't a good series for the Reds, but you know what? There's a lot at stake there. You're talking about first place in the National League Central, and obviously means a lot to both of those clubs.
Good night for Hamilton. Josh Hamilton has doubled twice, and he's scored twice. He's driven in a run. His 78th RBI. His numbers at home. Talking about Hamilton, 383 with 16 home runs out of the 24 that he has hit. So I mean, every hitter ought to love his ball.
383 leads the majors.
Yes.
So he loves his even more than anybody else. Hitting with runners in scoring position. Yeah, you're talking MVP right now.
377 coming into tonight with men in scoring position. The base is empty here. One man out. Stings that one the other way for a base hit. Well, when doesn't he hit it hard? That's his 3rd hit tonight. Speaking of hard hits, there were a few in this one. Last night, Phillips there with Molina. And started to get into it. And the bench is cleared and the bullpens as well. And it got pretty frisky.
You know, a couple of tough guys there. I mean, Molina and Phillips, both of them not afraid of anything. And then it turned into a heavyweight bout with Chris Carpenter and Scott Rowland, former teammates. I know why Carpenter was there. He's going to protect Molina at whatever cost.
Here's Vladimir Guerrero. He is 0 for 3. Has not hit the ball hard at all tonight. In fact, he hasn't recently. He's popped up to second, grounded to third, and grounded back to the pitcher. His average is now sunk below 300.
I just can't get over the change in Josh Hamilton. Just the discipline he has up there at home plate.
That one's hit hard and through for a base hit. That'll move Hamilton up to second. Yankees looking for a little more separation. The Rangers are with a 6-4 lead here over the Yankees in the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Nelson Cruz, who has gone 1 for 3 tonight. So Wood gives up a couple of base hits. Now the Tigers knocked the Tampa Bay Rays off again today. Yankees were hoping to gain some ground inside the division coming into tonight, but knew they were flat up against it facing Cliff Lee.
OB, you talked in the open about 1 through 6 for these Rangers and how dangerous they are. There might be some teams as good, but there's no one better. When you talk about the power and the speed and being able to hit in tough spots. Last year, Cruz had always been kind of an up and down type guy, and no one really believed in him, and one of those late bloomers that took him a while to develop. Ron Washington brought him into his office and said, "It's your job. I believe in you. Go out there and prove me right." Well, he was an all-star, injured a couple of times, injured both hamstrings this year. I mean, he plays hard. It's going to happen.
Up the middle. Jeter with the stab into Cano, one on to first. Nicely turned on a great arm by Cano. And so Wood gets the double play he needed after surrendering 2 hits. Derek Jeter getting behind that bag and making a nice stab here. And Cano just has that rocket of an arm to turn the twin killing.
It's delicious. But could it be deliciouser? Oh, yes, says Captain Morgan Lime Bite. I add the ridiculous flavor to every beer. Bite this, Brohemeth. Try Captain Morgan Lime Bite. Drink responsibly.
Denny's has 3 delicious new skillets starting at just $3.99. You hear that sizzling? It's the money you just saved burning a hole in your pocket. Just kidding, it's the new skillets.
Throw your hands up, clench your fist with pride. Hold your head high, no need to hide. EVOLVE, come on, get inside, come on, ride with me. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve. You gotta evolve. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve.
It's a season of historic pitching performances where any game can turn into an absolute gem. And with this year's batch of aces, doing whatever it takes to reach the postseason.
This is a year of the pitcher.
It's never been more important to keep your eye on the ball.
Unbelievable.
This is beyond belief. This is beyond baseball.
Top of the 8th inning, and Texas still leading at 6-4 over the Yankees here in Game 2 of this quick 2-game series. And Francisco comes out of the bullpen. The right-hander will take on Thames, A-Rod, and then Robinson Cano. And again, they're missing Teixeira for the 2nd consecutive ball game because he is home with his newborn son and his wife Lee. 6-4, 3.75 ERA for Francisco, who has been particularly tough against left-hand hitters. Righties hitting him at 281, lefties just 208.
He was a closer when this season began. Was a year ago for the Rangers. Struggled in the early going, and with Neftali Feliz down there, Ron Washington made the move and just made that bullpen stronger.
Thames knocks a foul. He has gone 1 for 3 with a single. He's also struck out twice. One thing Francisco has been very good at is staying away from ball 4. His last 27 outings, just 3 walks and 31 strikeouts in 28 innings. And he's ahead on Thames here. A-Rod on deck. High fly ball. This is driven deep down the left field line. That one headed for the stands, and that ball is gone. Marcus Thames crushes one. And this is a 1-run ball game in Texas. His 4th home run of the season. And deep down into the left field corner.
I didn't know if that ball was going to stay in the ballpark or not to begin with. Wow. Tremendous power there. Inside corner. Loves that fastball. Always did. The whole league knows that. But for some reason, Francisco decided he was going to challenge him, and he lost that battle.
He lost it deep. And here's A-Rod. 1 for 3 with a double. So the Yankees keep on coming. New York scored a run in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, now another one here in the 8th to make it a 1-run game. Robinson Cano on deck. Thames certainly got all of it. Big swing and a miss. A-Rod right through it. A very aggressive cut. 18 home runs for him. He hit one last night. Number 601 in the Yankee defeat.
We talked about it earlier, and you mentioned with Teixeira not being here, a lot more pressure would fall on his shoulders. And here's that spot representing the tie and run. And with nobody out, it's not so much about hitting a homer to tie it. Just find a way to get on.
Two strikes on A-Rod, back to last night.
Dead center. Right over the head of Josh Hamilton. Tying that ball game up in the 8th inning with career homer number 601.
And he has driven in his 90th run of the season with a double tonight back in the 4th inning to chase in 10s. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. A-Rod fans for the second time. One man out in the 8th.
Well, that's that split-fingered fastball that was so overpowering for Francisco when he was on, when he was a closer. The command of the fastball is just not good enough, though, in those situations to keep Feliz out of that role.
Yankees have struck out 14 times tonight. Robinson Cano has not. He doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored.
10 out of the last 11 Yankee outs have been via the strikeout.
And yet, around all those strikeouts, they have 2 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Too high for a ball on Cano. Thames getting him started here in the 8th inning with a blast. Cano, of course, with excellent power as a second baseman, 21 home runs. And the piece foul tipped it into the mitt. 1-2, bases empty, 1 man out. Jorge Posada on deck. Texas deep into their bullpen. The Yankees are 2. 1-2 is high and tight. All even now on Cano. Joe Girardi looking for a split of this 2-game series in Texas.
I think Joe may have to shuffle that rotation a little bit. Just watching Vasquez, you can't like that.
With that dead arm, he was very ineffective tonight. He was only on the mound for 4 1/3. He gave up 6 runs on 8 hits.
A.J. Burnett was better last night in his start, but not in a winning cause for the team. I think they may need to bring Mitre out of that bullpen, or they might need to bring somebody up from AAA just to kind of give the starting rotation a blow.
3-2. If Cano should reach, he becomes the tying run for the Yankees.
That's how you hit 300 for a career, and hitting, what, 330 on the season. That was that same split-fingered fastball he chased for strike 2, and somehow able to pick up the spin on that baseball and lay off of it to run the count full.
The righty deals the 3-2 and popped it up, but that'll twist foul off into the stands. And they'll do it again. Only 1 man out in the inning. Now the Red Sox won big. They pounded on Toronto 10-1 the final.
That was Buchholz again tonight, wasn't it?
He got the win. Played Buchholz with 13 wins. And the Red Sox, if the Yankees should falter here tonight, would pull to within 4 games of first place. Again, Tampa Bay fell to the Tigers earlier. And that misses for ball 4. Great at bat for Cano as he takes a walk. The first time the Yankees have taken ball 4 tonight.
Well, and you know what? They have battled. They have battled all night long. They just tried to get back into a situation where they could bring the tying run to home plate. They have done that several times. Now they bring what could be the go-ahead to home plate. And we've known about the Bronx Bombers for a long time. This is the one thing they've been real good at all year, is hitting a 2- and 3-run homer. The thing they haven't been real good at is manufacturing runs on a consistent basis.
Posada is 0 for 3. He has struck out all 3 times. He'll bat left-handed here. with Cano at first base and only one man away. Foul on a play for a strike. The Yankees have really thrived here in Arlington. They are 43-29 in this ballpark since it opened in 1994. That is something that the Rangers are going to have to keep in mind if they wind up meeting the Yankees in October. Yankees don't mind playing here at all.
Well, in the past, that hadn't worked out real well for the Rangers either. They've lost 9 straight postseason games to the New York Yankees.
1 ball, 1 strike on Posada. Austin Kearns on deck. 6-5 Texas. The Rangers did have a 6-1 lead in this game, but over the last 3 innings it's been all New York, and Nolan Ryan's getting a little bit nervous. That's a strike. Posada has been at odds all night with Paul Emmel. He's disagreed about 4 or 5 times with the home plate umpire.
He's got to be a little upset with himself too. I mean, he's had some good pitches to hit, and when he's swinging the bat well, it could have been a good offensive night for him, and he's 1 strike away right now from the golden sombrero.
Francisco very deliberate with a man on and 1 man out. 1-2, just a piece of it for Posada to hang in there. If you were with us earlier tonight, Cliff Lee was on the mound for 6 1/3 innings. He was charged with 4 runs and 8 hits. He struck out 11, and naturally he didn't walk anybody. Ron Washington eventually saw him tire in the 7th. First time since the middle of May that he didn't go longer than 7 innings in a start.
You want to throw that split finger fastball here to try to get Jorge to chase, but if you don't get it down and swing and a miss, you open up that gap between the first and second baseman. A base hit here with 1 out could be first and third.
It's going to be if it goes into right field, and just a little bit high for a ball as Posada laid off. Cruz is playing extremely deep. Right.
No, Cano does not run well. I mean, there's no way that he wouldn't be able to get to first to third there, and with just 1 out, the tying run would just be 90 feet away.
Rangers up the middle looking for a double play here. Another one that misses. Long at bat here for Posada to count 3-2.
I don't know. I know I'm supposed to have the answer on whether you send him or not here. He struck out 3 straight times. I'd send him. I mean, I think he needs to go here to stay out of the double play. You get a ball in the gap, you might be able to score him.
Well, you know, Francisco doesn't walk anybody, although he just walked Cano. Runner goes, and it is high for a ball 4. He's walked back-to-back hitters. Well, he has not been doing that, and here comes Maddox. Runners at first and second, so the Yankees have the tying run at second base here with only 1 man out in the 8th. They are grinding away on Frank Francisco, and Maddox stopping right there. Well, what's this all about? Now he's going to wait for the home plate umpire, Emmel. And now he heads out.
Well, to begin with, I thought Mike was pausing because it looked like Francisco might be hurt.
Might have hurt himself, yeah.
For him to not be throwing strikes has got to be a concern, because that's just not him.
Well, he didn't want to go out unless he was sure he was okay, because if it's an injury visit, it doesn't count as a visit. Then you'd bring the trainer out, and probably the manager, Ron Washington, as well. Apparently he's all right. Maddox makes an official visit.
Well, he might be physically all right, but his command has got to put the Rangers in a scary situation right now.
Well, he's walked back-to-back hitters in Cano and Posada.
Gave up a monster home run to Marcus Thames.
In between there, the strikeout of A-Rod.
he had pitches to hit and just wasn't able to do anything with it.
Here's Austin Kearns now. He's whiffed twice, but also singled.
More of that power for the Yankees.
8 home runs for him. Went after the first one and missed it. At 93, fastball by Francisco. 6-5 Texas. Really, you feel like the Rangers, after pretty comfortable leads most of the night, especially while Lee was on the mound, they are now clinging to a 1-run advantage here in Arlington. Cano at second, Posada at first. And a right-hander delivers. A check swing, and he left it high. They do appeal. No swing, says Bill Hahn. The Rangers have been very good at home. They're 37-21. Of course, the Yankees have been an awfully good road team, 32-23.
Well, that's really where the Rangers have made their hay, though, has been here at home, just barely over 500 on the road. They hit better here.
2-1. Francisco throwing a lot of pitches around the plate.
Well, and taking a lot of time to throw any pitch that he's throwing right now. And to me, that, I'm sure Nolan Ryan, Jim Sundberg sitting there by him thinking the same thing. That is a lack of confidence on what was their closer just a year ago.
Well, he's fallen behind here. 2-1 on Kearns after walking 2 straight. Ball 3, nowhere near. One more like that, and the bases are loaded for Lance Berkman. Last time up, Berkman reached the warning track right on that general direction. Right out there in right center field in front of the Texas bullpen.
Looks like he's having trouble with the moisture that's coming down his arm, the sweat. Throwing a lot of pitches, threw a lot of pitches in the 1 inning of work last night. Gone to the rosin bag several times. You don't want to make a mistake here.
Pitch number 27 here. Hard hit ground ball. Andrus from a knee to Guzman. 1 on the first, double play. He gets out of it.
See how he thrives tonight.
Well, Berkman late on that swing. Berkman had a big double his last time up, drove in a run. Yankees were set up there in the 7th inning. They had runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 man out. Infield back, and Jeter struck out, and then Swisher struck out. They ended up scoring another run in the 8th inning on the home run by Timms, but now down by 1 and looking to avoid their 3rd straight loss. And it would all be by 1 run. Yeah. 2-1, 4-3, and now they're losing this one 6-5.
And the Yankees had an opportunity against Boston. Was the bases loaded? And
nobody out.
And Jeter struck out, and Swisher struck out. I think the hitter Granderson struck out as well.
Yep. 98 after throwing 2 innings yesterday.
Well, yesterday he was working on 4 days rest. So Feliz, plus he's young. He's young, strong.
Another 98, just for good measure. Rafael Soriano of the Rays leads the American League with 32 saves. Then Soria with 31. Feliz tied with Papelbon 29 and Kevin Gregg 25. Check that, now it's 3-2.
You know, Berkman hasn't been getting many hits, but he has run deep counts. And that's something he was noted for when he was with the Houston Astros.
Can he work his way on to start the ninth? Fouled it back. Berkman wanted the games to mean something. They hadn't meant much with the Astros, and now every at-bat is big because the Yankees have big aspirations. And now, leading off the ninth inning, he's trying to scratch his way on base, get the time run on. And the 3-2 continues to foul it back. Might have swung at ball 4 there. He's asking the home plate umpire, Paul Emmel, if he did. You decide. Did he?
Well, first of all, it was coming up there at 97. That's close.
And this will be the 8th pitch of this at bat. And he walks him. So Lance Berkman works a leadoff walk, and now the Yankees have some decisions to make. Do they try to tie on the road? And they're going to send Granderson out to pinch run for Berkman. And coming up after the final out, catch the WB Mason postgame is Nancy Newman and Kimberly Jones recap this potential playoff series with the Texas Rangers, and they get the standings from around the rest of the majors. Plus, you can hear Joe Girardi's reaction at his postgame press conference, all coming up later, only on Yes. So that's a big walk for Berkman. Now Granderson takes over as the pinch runner. Now, do they have Gardner bunt, Kenny, or do they just have Granderson tag off?
Yeah, I would believe you're going to see the latter, because you don't play so much for the tie on the road.
Usually you don't.
You don't.
Gardner with an RBI single his last time up. Tampa lost tonight. Well, this afternoon, Boston won. So if the Yankees don't win this game, Boston would pull to within 4, and Tampa would remain a half game behind. So a big swing game for the Yankees. And there's a strike. He was not squaring the bunt, and Granderson just trying to get a read on Feliz. Rob Thompson going through the signs.
The whole deal with Feliz is how quickly he gets rid of the ball. You know, sometimes you watch these closers, they throw so hard, they have that high leg kick. But he gets the ball to the plate very quickly.
Well, you have no complaint about these games. They have been gut-wrenching nail-biters. Yesterday, the Yankees losing 10 innings. Now it comes down to the 9th inning with the Yankees down by 1. They knocked Cliff Lee out in the 7th inning, which is somewhat of a moral victory, but now they want a victory in the standings. They want to come all the way back. Fouled away. Well, if the Yankees tie this game, their defense is going to be a little compromised. I guess what they'll do is they'll bring Nick Swisher in from right field and have him play first. And he's a better than average first baseman, and Granderson would work his way into the outfield.
Granderson has 10 steals. He has not been caught stealing.
Everybody's standing there at Rangers ballpark. It's that sort of game. You're either standing or on the edge of your seat. 96 outside. Feliz looks young. Young with an old man's job.
You're right. It's unusual to trust a young pitcher with such an important position. When the closer doesn't get it done, it really can affect the ball club. It means you've lost a tight ball game.
So Granderson, who has not started the last 2 games against the lefty, has entered each game as a pinch runner. 1-2 is high. On deck, Derek Jeter. Does not have a huge lead.
He's drawn a lot of attention, though. One thing I like about his leads at first, he has not really given any indication that he's going. Sometimes you see the runners tense up or start to lean, and that kind of gives it away. But every lead has been about the same.
Putting together a nice at-bat. Gardner with a big base hit his last time up, an RBI single with center. He had been 2 for 32 before that single. So possibly entering this at-bat feeling better about things.
Well, you're talking about him having a nice at-bat, and what it does, it kind of wears down pitchers. And in a way, it helps the hitters that follow you.
There's nobody up in the Rangers bullpen. This is Felice's job. The 2-2. Looked into left field. That could dunk in, and it does for a base hit. Granderson was going back to first and only now gets to second. So a walk and a single, and the Yankees are set up here in the ninth inning. Nobody out.
Well, Granderson was making sure that the ball actually fell in. It kind of hung up for a little bit, kind of a dunker down the left field line. Murphy was playing Gardner to hit the ball the other way. The ball falls in. Yeah, he lays back right at the very end, realizing he can't catch it on the fly. Well, watch Granderson here. Now, he knows he can't get to third base anyway, so he stops. The ball is not caught, and he can head to second. He can walk to second.
All right, Mike Maddox is on the mound, and again, Kenny will sit back and we're going to manage. You got Derek Jeter at the plate. Nick Swisher is on deck. You got two runners on. You have Jeter bunt and move the tying run to third and the go-ahead run to second.
Yeah, I would do that.
Now, yesterday, in the ninth inning, runner on first, and that was the tying run. No, it would have been the winning run. It was 3-3 at that point. They had Jeter offer to bunt twice. The count was 1-1. They took it off, had the runners go. And he banged into a 4-6-3 double play. So let's see how they play it tonight.
I think Jeter bunts. Then it's up to Ron Washington to decide whether he wants to pitch to Swisher or Thames. Does he load the bases, try for a double play? The Rangers are expecting the bunt. Moreland's in at first. Young's in on the grass at third.
Jeter 2 hits and 4 at bats. And they are charging in the corners. And Jeter takes low, 1-0. He's going to make Felice throw strikes.
I thought Derek would have more, but he's only got one sacrifice bunt this year. Remember, he leads the American League and runs batted in out of the leadoff spot.
That's the tying run, Curtis Granderson. Pitch goes all the way to the backstop, throw to third, not in time. Now you don't have to worry about the bump. The wild pitch allows both runners to move up. Tying runs 90 feet away. Go-ahead run 180 feet away.
That ball came back with such force off the wall that they almost had a chance to get Granderson at third. A couple of things here. It misses the glove of Molina. Then it misses the home plate umpire, Paul Emo. But it hits that brick wall, and they still had to play Granderson at third. And maybe a good throw would have gotten him. Instead, the throw is in the dirt. Tough throw for Young to handle, and everybody's going to be safe.
And now the Rangers bring the infield in. They want to cut off the tying run. That's a dangerous move because you can allow 2 runs to score now, a ball that squeezes through. And that one is shot under the glove of Guzman into center field. Granderson scores. Gardner moves to third. It's an RBI single for Jeter. And the Yankees have come all the way back to tie the score at 6.
Michael, you made a good point about bringing the infield all the way in. You know, if you lay back, you might have allowed a tying run to score, but now the winning run has gone to third. Let's take a look here. Jeter with the chopper. I think Guzman should have made the play here. The ball gets by him, and that enables the tying run to score, and then Gardner, with the winning run, move over to third base. I don't know how the ball got underneath his glove. Here's another look. Chopper over the mound. And Guzman can't make the play. You see the reaction of Feliz on the mound.
Now they keep the infield in because they want to cut off the run at third. Remember, that's the speedy Brett Gardner at third. Swisher's at the plate. Feliz deals, and he throws a breaking ball in there. That's a small call by Molina. Slow a youngster down. Have him throw the breaking ball.
Meanwhile, with the Yankees tying the score, Cliff Lee loses the decision.
And Vasquez is off the hook.
Yep.
The old fake to third and a throw to first, but Jeter's practically on the pad. David Robertson throwing in the Yankee pen. If the Yankees get the lead,
you might see a switch.
Pitch outside. He threw a breaking ball again. He has no command over the fastball. So let's recap. Berkman walked. Gardner bloop single. Jeter just squeezes one over the glove of Feliz and under the glove of Guzman to tie the score.
Michael, you wonder how much of this is a byproduct of him working 2 innings in last night's game.
1-1. Ooh, foul back. Now, first and third, nobody out. You know the Yankees know they have to get in a run. They can't afford to have Swisher strike out, and then you run the risk of Timms hitting into a double play. You've got to get that run home. Cliffley's still in the dugout. And the 1-2. He struck him out on an off-speed pitch. That's a huge strikeout for Neftali Feliz. Now Ron Washington is coming out to the mound and walking very, very slowly. This is the second trip, so Feliz is done.
And I think because he's thrown, 21 pitches here, and after what he worked in last night's game, they don't want him to go any further.
So they are going to signal for Alexi Ogando. It'll be Ogando against Timms. I hope you got nails left. We got more baseball. Ogando in the 8th inning. Timms had the Yankees inch closer.
Nothing close about that home run. A long drive to left field. His 4th home run of the year.
Ogando, hard-throwing right-hander, faced Timms last night and struck him out. Timms 2 for 4, single, home run, 2 strikeouts. Foul back. The Rangers, of course, dropped the infield back. They're looking for the double play. Now, there are some things the Yankees could do. Do you send Jeter? A little bit of a double steal. They throw through. You've got Brett Gardner who could dart home.
We have seen that before early in the season with the same combination of base runners. But it only happened after the hitter, and I can't remember who the hitter was. The hitter had 2 strikes. It was opening night in Boston, but I also believe at the time there were 2 outs.
Gardner's at third, Jeter's at first. And Tim steps out. We got a 6-6 game. Mariano's getting ready to begin warming up. The Yankees have to push across a run. If not, it'll be Robertson in the bottom of the 9th. Swing miss. 96, nasty. Good movement.
The Rangers have some hard throwers in the bullpen. Ogando in the upper 90s. Francisco can get it up there, and certainly Feliz.
You got Alex Rodriguez on deck. And that's probably why you don't mess around with Jeter taking second base. Because then you'd still go after Timms, and first base would be open to pitch around A-Rod.
And those not a bad option.
Yeah. The 0-2. Grounded, through for a base hit. Gardner scores. Jeter goes to second. It's a big RBI single from Marcus Timms. His third hit of the night, and the Yankees take a 7-6 lead. And Mariano begins to throw.
The thing about this is an 0-2 pitch, and it's a hanging breaking ball. Once it gets past Michael Young at third, Marcus Timms has come through with the base hit. Not a good pitch from Ogando. He throws hard, but he hung a breaking ball right there to give the Yankees the lead.
Well, we've done our own scouting report. All the righties the Rangers bring in, all they do is throw breaking balls to Timms, and if you're going to hang one that, he can hit it.
Yeah, he's a major league hitter. You make a mistake with one, he's going to hit it.
So down 6-2 after 5. 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and 2 here in the 9th. The Yankees have come all the way back to take the lead. Here's Alex Rodriguez. A bloop single, a seeing eye single, and then a hard shot through the left side. Yankees have 2 runs. There's that breaking ball. That's a good one.
Yeah,
strike.
That was much better than the one he threw to Timms. The thing about Timms in this series, he's had a good series with the hits. You mentioned 3 hits tonight. He had a couple of hits last night. So it's 5 hits in 2 games. But every time he's made that, it's been a strikeout.
5 hits, 5 strikeouts.
Joe Girardi dropped him in the 3rd spot in the order with the absence of Mark Teixeira.
And the 1-1. Strike on the outside corner at the knees. 1-2. You want to look ahead to the bottom of the 9th. It's the top of the order for the Rangers. Andrus, Young, and Hamilton. After that, Vlad Guerrero, if anybody gets on. And on the face, Mariano Rivera. Took the loss yesterday, trying to get the save today for Kerry Wood. And the count 2-2.
And the thing about that breaking ball that Ogando threw to Marcus Timms, it was the first breaking ball he threw out of the bullpen. I don't believe he had a feel for it yet. He threw 2 fastballs, got ahead 0-2, and then, okay, I get the sign for the breaking ball. Let me throw it, and it wasn't the best one. Ooh, that one kind of hung too.
And A-Rod fouls it back. Still 1 out. Jeter's at second, and Timms is at first. Couple of Yankee fans sitting through the heat. Missed inside.
Runners looking at Robbie Thompson to see if they are on the move on this 3-2 pitch. Yep, that was inside, definitely. I don't think they're going. Because I think that if A-Rod's trying, you want Robinson Cano to hit this inning. Outside of it, if A-Rod hits it to a double play, it's over. But you don't want to strike out, throw him out double play. So I think you really want Robinson Cano to hit this inning.
A-Rod fouls it the other way, down the right field line. Now the lefty Harrison is ready in the bullpen. They could bring him in to face Cano, but that would leave them with one pitcher if the game goes to extra innings, and that's the former starter, Scott Feldman. And that's what Vern Washington's going to run into a lot if he uses O'Day and Oliver for just one batter.
Exactly. When you start matching up, seventh inning, I guess that's okay to start matching.
Especially in the game, though, when you're leading by 4. I don't know. 3-2, swung and a miss. Fastball upstairs. A-Rod goes down swinging, and the runners were not going. So does Washington go to the lefty to face Cano? Looks like he does as he's coming out of the dugout. So Ogando,
he's out of here.
He is done. So Harrison is going to come on. He is the 6th reliever, the lefty Harrison against the lefty Cano when we get back. Five righties, 2 lefties. And now they go to their second lefty and the 6th of the 7 relievers. It's Matt Harrison to face Cano. 57 hits in 62 innings. And a 3.92 ERA. So they want to stop it right here and give the top of their order a chance against Mariano down just 1. Cano is 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. He doubled.
He's also 1 for 4 against Harrison in his career.
And the lefty deals. Swings at the first pitch, does Cano, and fouls it away.
Harrison's actually been pitching pretty good lately. Only 4 runs in his last 23 2/3 innings. His ERA has gone from 5.40 to 3.92.
Cliff Lee is an interested spectator. He lost his win, but he wants his team to win this game. Pitch high. Boy, they bring one hard-throwing arm after another out of that bullpen.
Who's the president of the team?
Hard thrower.
Yeah.
There he is.
He wasn't trying to trick anybody, I'll tell you that.
Ryan Express. Outside the ballpark, there's a Nolan Ryan Expressway.
And it's right, huh? Tell you what, Michael, it was no fun.
He's not having fun right now with his team blowing this 6-2 lead.
No, I mean, hitting against him was no fun. You were definitely in the no fun zone.
1-2. He struck him out. Harrison comes on to get Cano. But the Yankees squeak 2 runs across on 3 hits, and they leave 2. Now it's time for Mariano Rivera. Can the Yankee closer close out this victory? Stick around. Rod is in on the grass at third. And the pitch is upstairs. At third. And the pitch is upstairs.
Got everybody's attention, particularly Elvis Andrus. Almost undressed him.
Andrus is 1 for 4 with a run scored. And that one is lined into right center field. It is a base hit. In fact, it's going to split the outfielders, and it's going to go to the wall. Andrus is at second. He's going to go to third, and he leads off the bottom of the ninth inning with a triple.
Triple of the season. Last night we told you this is a very speedy field. Infield is hard, outfield is fast as well. Once this ball got to the gap and it was a pitch up and out over the plate, it just scooted for the wall. Austin Kearns into retrieve mode. And he picks it up on his second try. Andrus gets rid of the helmet. And he's got his third triple of the year.
Infield in. Michael Young will loop one into right field. Coming on Kearns. He makes the play. A shoestring play as Andrus stays at third. That ball just stayed in the webbing for Austin Kearns as he recorded the first out.
Yeah, with the infield in, there was no chance for one of the infielders, in particular Robinson Cano, to make the play. Here's what Michael was talking. Hit the heel, stayed in the glove. And it was so shallow, Andrus had actually come halfway in case the ball had fallen in front of Kearns. No chance to tag up at third base. The ball was way too shallow.
All right, now you've got the major league's leading hitter average-wise in Josh Hamilton. 358. He has 3 hits tonight. Infield is in. And Rivera deals inside. So the Yankees take the lead with 2 in the ninth, and the leadoff batter triples. And Rivera in instant trouble. Now 1 out. Count 2-0. On deck is Vlad Guerrero. Hamilton 1 for 3 lifetime against Rivera. The hit was last night. And the 2-0. Right back to Mo. He checks back Andrus, and the Yankees are 1 out away.
Kept coming inside, and with the count 2-0, sometimes hitters anticipate a good pitch to hit, and this was that cutter. In on the hands, tried to fight it off, right back to Mo, immediately checks the runner at third. This is a big pitch. Jammed it. Able to get the out at first base. And you can see Hamilton's disgust. He throws the bat away. Hitters get it. He wants to drive in that run so badly, he kind of jammed himself on the cutter in on the hands.
All right, comes down to this. A veteran, borderline Hall of Famer in Vlad Guerrero, and a surefire Hall of Famer in Mariano Rivera. Game on the line. The pitch is inside. Guerrero tonight is 1 for 4. Andrus is at third with 2 outs. Yankees holding on dearly to a 1-run lead, trying to split this 2-game set before heading to Kansas City. And the 1-0. This could do it. Ground ball to A-Rod. He has a tough hop. And the Yankees win. A hard-fought, heart-thumping, come-from-behind victory for the Yankees as they win this one 7-6. All the excitement that you could possibly ask for, and the veteran Rivera nails it down.
And Michael, you call it a tough hop for A-Rod at third. It looked like it was going to be an easy play. He backed up, but that last hop was a doozy. He holds on. The Yankees hold on and win by a score of 7-6. A tremendous comeback victory. The Yankees scoring in the last 4 innings to come away with a 1-run lead. Take a look at the last bounce. A lot of overspin on this ball. A-Rod decides to lay back. The ball comes up. He plays it just over the shoulder. The accurate throw, and the ball game is over. Here's the reaction from the dugout. This is it. There's the play, and a hard-fought come-from-behind win as the Yankees gain a split.